thought about her music. Never forget one day coming home and my children are going through my record collection and they're playing on my record player all these 80s and 90s tunes. And Mateo, I was horrified, first of all, because it's my priceless record collection, then please don't scratch it. But then I smiled about it and I thought to myself, well, they're learning. And my daughter came out and said, Dad, I didn't know your music was so cool. And I was like, well, of course it is. And I just thought to myself this morning with Dolly going this last week, what have your children discovered about you? What have you discovered about your parents, Mateo?
Well, I don't think my kids have discovered anything about me yet. I don't think we've gone into such deep conversations. But I discovered my mom was a very good athlete in school. And this is while I was an athlete myself in school. And she was telling me, I was really fast. But one day we met up with her friends and they caught up about the old days. And they talked about just how really fast she was and how an athlete she was. And she was just quiet there. She was like, you see, I told you. I was the Marion Jones of my time. But my dad used to work at a factory, Colgate Palmolive in Boksburg, which makes, of course, the soap and the toothpaste. I didn't know where those things came from at the time. And he actually took me around one of the Saturdays to, the factory floor. There was no one there. So, he took me all the way up to the barrel where there was like a big, big barrel of toothpaste and just showed me how those things are made. And I was like, hey, man, you really do a really cool job, So, yeah, it was one of those things that I found out. But otherwise, with my dad, it's been the music. I took all his records, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Like what type of music? What's he into?
Mostly jazz, the 70s funk as well. So all that stuff I've really adopted from him and I've kept for myself. I'm not sure if my son will be interested in all that stuff.
You never know, hey? You never know. Amol, what have you discovered about your parents?
Long after my father had passed on, and this is in my older ages, recently, somebody told me that, your father was really a cool guy. He was so cool because, most of the time people tell me that my father was very quiet, that he was shy, never really spoke a lot. Even in church, he used to sit at the back and mind his own business. You'd never hear his voice, even when they were singing or whatever.
And look at you right now.
I mean, yeah, I'm the total opposite, right? But, to hear people saying that he was actually cool, even though he was quiet. He was one person that people leaned on for, conversations or whatever. And my mom, on the other hand, she never really changed much. The person she was as a child is who she is now. Very neat, very clean, very polished, very... Also, she's quite quiet as well. Never really changed much. She's the same person as she was in her childhood. So that's very interesting because I've changed a lot.
Yeah, there we go. So you've learned things that you didn't know. 702 Land, what have you learned from your parents? What are some of the things that you've learned and you thought, wow, they're actually pretty cool? Or perhaps your children are learning things about you and you've learned things about your parents. It does go both ways. 072 7021 702.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
Right, so coming up on the program this morning, all the regulars, of course, including the Whiz Quiz. And then just before 7 a.m., talking about the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, asking, are we getting the full story? So I'll be talking to Eyewitness News reporter Karinda Jagmohan about that. And then after 7, our big interview. The health department is calling on parents to make sure that their children are vaccinated. There's been a sharp decline in vaccinations, and this threatens to reverse decades of public health gains. If you think about it, our kids get herd immunity if they are vaccinated against measles, polio, and things like that. But apparently this isn't happening. So I'll be talking to the health department. And then something I'd like your take on, and it's been in the news, and I'm battling to get my head around it actually. Is it okay for a politician, a boss, a leader to lose their temper, lose their cool? Because we all lose our cool sometimes, but is it okay to lose it in public? Well, Joburg Mayor Dada Morero, he lost his cool at an electricity embizo in Western Joburg. A person in the audience called him corrupt, and he just responded. He just lost his cool. Let's take a listen.
Ngang busy a criminal, Lutini. Ngang busy a criminal. I get criminal. Skapita wiyetsa ntwe. Skapita wiyetsa mogolo. Skapita wiyetsa ntwe. A get criminal. Skapita wiyetsa ntwe. No, ska pita winch. O bua se. O bua. Okay, we can. If o sa hlomphe motho le rona ra kgona o sa o hlomphe. Re na le capacity e tshwanang le hao. Re qadile hampe ka baka la comment ya ntate o.
So there we go, all those beep words, you can fill those in for yourself. But is it okay, when is it acceptable for a leader or a boss to lose their temper? If you're being blamed, insulted, or called names for something that's completely out of your control, is it understandable to finally snap, or should a good leader always keep their cool? Well, he did come back, and he did come back, and he did apologize, and he said, look, I'm sorry. He's released a video. He's spoken about that. But yeah, I'm not so sure. Let's take a listen to that apology.
Residents of Johannesburg, good afternoon, especially residents of Tshipisong today who were part of the public meeting on service delivery, or MBIZO, which was addressing in the main electricity matter. And during the course of the meeting, emotions went high between myself and one of the participants, and I would like to profusely and unconditionally apologize for my utterances which were made this morning at the meeting. It should not have been done in that fashion, and I do take full responsibility. And over and above, I did have a word or two with the resident concerned, and the meeting accepted my apology in the meeting. I do apologize for the conduct of that meeting, and thank you.
Oh, there we go. Okay, Dada Morero saying he is sorry. He lost his cool, Mateo.
Yeah, the timing is so unfortunate. November's around the corner. You know, I guess there's a lot of high pressure on, especially the ANC, and but I still don't think he should have lost his cool in that particular meeting, because residents expressing how they feel about the services that you provide to them, or the ones you don't, shouldn't be a moment for you to lose your cool. In fact, it should be a moment where you reflect on maybe your own failures and say, you know what, I will do better. And it was far better for him to have handled his cool then. But I also remember the Russian President Vladimir Putin having a meeting with project managers on a government project, and they couldn't account for some of the things. They hadn't met targets, and he took them on.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's who you lose your cool with, the people that you work with that are supposed to be serving the residents and the people of your country.
But you know what? This is the thing, especially with the city of Joburg, because a lot has gone wrong. We got potholes. In fact, driving this morning here, I counted one traffic light that was working, and I drove about 10 kilometers. So these guys are getting it and getting it and getting it. And eventually he just exploded. I mean, every person has got their breaking point. But should you, if you are a leader, a boss, a politician, should you lose your cool? 702 Land, 072 702 1702.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa is brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted telecom business connectivity. Powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
Right, I'm asking quite a few questions this morning. Mateo, what are you asking?
Yeah, I want to know this morning, Ray, from you and the 702 Landers, what was your first credit account? And what did you use it for? Did you need the credit for clothes, maybe to get for a new job, a credit card to sort yourself out, or just new furniture as you moved into a new place?
Oh, that's such a good question. I remember the first time. I'm not going to diss the company because I'm not doing that this morning. But I had 6 months to pay. I remember that. And I thought, 6 months to pay. Shopping time. So Ray goes out and does his shopping. I can do that. And then I think I must have misunderstood it because it wasn't 6 months to pay. They wanted all the money the next month. And I got myself into a little bit of trouble, and I was 19 years old. So, yeah. Amo?
I had one at at a game store. I wanted to buy a TV and I didn't have money then, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just take it up on credit and then I can pay it monthly or however. But I remember after paying it, I said, I'm not going back there again. This is it. Yeah,
You
this is
took the
it.
pain and
Yeah, and I felt it. And also, I was very young. I think I was about 19, 20, somewhere there. And I was like, no, I'm not going back here again.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All the lessons that we have learned. All right. Keen to find out why you're asking about that one.
702.
Weather.
Let's see what's happening in Gauteng, because it was cold, then it was hot, then it was cold again. Well, it says here partly cloudy and cool day in store for Gauteng. Johannesburg starting at 10, going up to 22. Pretoria is 12 and 24. Vereniging 10 and 22. Cape Town partly cloudy, a low of 13, a high of 23 degrees. Mahikeng 11 and 26. Kleberge, you are 15 and 25. Kuchomko City 18 and 21. Durban 17, a high of 26 degrees.
Good morning, team. Ray White, you don't want to appear on Mazanga Commission for not singing "It's a Friday, it's a Friday, it's a Friday." Bow from the van.
EWN. Traffic.
Justice Matlanga, I'm sorry. I didn't do it. Amo, it's a Friday. How's the traffic?
Well, Ray, we start off on a bad note. In the city of Tshwane, we've got an accident reported on the N1 North that happened after the flying saucer interchanges, causing heavy traffic volumes. There's also queuing traffic on the R80 south towards Eskiam Patlele Drive. This is due to peak time delays there while traveling on the N1 North. More delays between Malibongo Drive and Winnie Mandela Drive due to peak time pressure there. We'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Yeah, Raymond, I have a teenage daughter, really into this K-pop music. Not really enjoying my music, but then one day I walked past the room and I heard this familiar song in a room, and I went in there and said, "What are you listening to?" And she says, "No, it's Master of Puppets from Metallica. I found it on your playlist." And I thought, wow. She says, "No, that's pretty cool." I was very chuffed. From Rustenburg.
Hey, 702 Lenders. So one thing I realized about my dad that is very, very cool is that he was a guerrilla. During a certain period of time in a certain country that I won't mention, he did guerrilla warfare. He was a part of guerrilla warfare. And which is cool. It depends on what your definition of cool is. But that's cool for me because in the event of World War III, that was likely going to happen. That was the guy you needed. Guy who can track, a guy who can hold a gun, a rifle, and defend himself and other people around him. So, yeah, that was actually cool to find out. Wow, my dad actually did this. Wow.
Talking this morning about things your parents may have done that you've just found out about, and you think, wow, that's really cool. You see, this is the thing. I mean, you look at your parents and you think, oh, you know, they're just these disciplinarians. They're boring. They don't go out. They watch TV on a Saturday night. And then you find out those things about them. Be careful when judging your parents. You need to know exactly who they are.
702.
Add your voice.
Have your say.
Let's walk the talk.
Right, things you need to know about this morning. Another dramatic twist in the blue light saga. Julius Mkhwanazi has been served with a warrant of arrest in connection with the controversial blue light saga involving businessman Vusumuzi Kat Matlala. How many warrants has he got now? Well, Mkhwanazi is expected to appear in the Germiston Magistrates Court today, facing charges of fraud and corruption. The case centers on allegations that Mkhwanazi unlawfully approved the fitting of blue emergency lights to 4 luxury vehicles linked to Matlala's security company. Then on this day in 1963, history was being made in Washington, D.C. in the U.S. as hundreds of thousands gathered for the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. The civil rights movement found its voice not only through powerful speeches but through music as well, with Martin Luther King Jr. preparing to deliver that legendary I Have a Dream speech. Kind of thought to myself as well, whose speech do you still remember and love to this business day. It could be a famous speech, a graduation speech, a wedding speech. We had Madiba with the Rivonia trial speech. That was a very big one. I Have a Dream, Barack Obama as well, his victory speech. What speech for you has stood out and you thought, wow, that's a speech. I'll never forget that. Then controversial Mpumalanga businessman and taxi boss Joe Ferrari Sibanyoni is expected to appear before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today and again on the 2nd of next month. Now, Sibanyoni and 2 other suspects were arrested on extortion-related charges following allegations that the trio repeatedly demanded money from a businessman over an extended period. Now, Sibanyoni is well known as a figure in Mpumalanga where he owns a large fleet of taxis. Speaking of transport, PUTCO has launched 6 new accessibility buses as part of efforts to make public transport more inclusive and accessible to people living with disabilities. The Mercedes-Benz low-entry buses have been specially designed and equipped with technology to make boarding and traveling easier for passengers with mobility needs. Great idea. And then singer-songwriter Florence Leontine Mary Welsh celebrates her 40th birthday today. Born on this day in 1986, she is best known as the powerful lead vocalist of the indie rock band Florence plus the Machine. Now, the band is behind the hit songs, including Dog Days Are Over, Shake It Out, and You've Got the Love, among many, many others. There we go. Things you didn't know about your news anchor who's just corrected me. Florence and the Machine. There we go. Thank you, Sipisa Zulu. We talk about things you didn't know about your parents, things you didn't know about your news anchor.
702.
The newspapers.
Now, apart from having impeccable music
Sorry, Ray,
knowledge,
I'm a huge fan.
Well, that's good. Nothing to correct the guy here, you see. All right, so tell us about the newspapers you've been keeping an eye.
Well, Ray, the United Nations says all of social media should be designed to be safe for children after tech giant Meta settled a massive lawsuit with U.S. states. The company has agreed to pay about $18 billion, and this is to 48 states across the U.S. over claims its platforms harm children, and the deal includes new safety measures like daily time limits, night mode, and stronger age checks. And the UN chief of human rights, Volker Turk, says governments at least shouldn't wait for lawsuits to protect children online, and it is calling on the likes of TikTok and YouTube and Instagram to adopt the same safeguards.
Yeah, I love that story. It's about time. The business day this morning, the IDC looks to bring in private investors. The aim is to boost funding and expand the entity's role in reviving the manufacturing sector. So that's a good one there. They've also got SARS and Treasury asked Top Court to overturn the VAT ruling. The finance minister wants to be able to decide on VAT himself.
And those are the newspapers.
EWN Business.
Thanks, Sophia. All right, Mateo, you asking, what was your first credit account and what did you use it for? Was it new furniture, to get clothes for a new job, maybe a credit card? Why are you asking?
Well, Ray, Truworths has reported a tough set of results for its 2026 financial year with a decrease in sales and a 2.6% decline in headline earnings. These results showed that the retailer's retail sales dropped by 0.9% to 21.8 billion rand, while its sale of merchandise grew slowly at 0.1% to 21.3 billion rand. Now, the retail's Africa division also came under pressure this time due to a lower sales driven by a drop in consumer ability to buy on credit. The segment is highly credit dependent, meaning pressure on consumer disposable incomes directly impacts active credit customers. Truworths' active account holders who were able to purchase on credit dropped to 77%, down from 78% last year and 79% in 2024. Now, for all these reasons, Truworths' basic earnings per share, basically their profits, are going down by 2.7% 0.7%. Truworths has a 2.9 million account holders across South Africa and neighboring Southern Africa. Now, there is high demand among young shoppers at Truworths, with roughly 43% of account applicants under the age of 30.
Yeah, the problem is you can't pay that account, and then it's mommy and daddy, and oh dear, it
Tough
carries
lessons.
on. Yep, how are the markets and the rand looking?
Well, the JSE was quite flat yesterday. Industrials were up 0.5%. Banking stocks were down, though mining shares also in the red, and that saw the JSE end the day in negative territory. The rand this morning, 15 rand 99, slightly weaker against the dollar this morning, 18 rand 63 against the euro, 21 rand 74 cents against the British pound. Price of gold down 0.5% at $4,579 an ounce. Platinum at $1,850. Brent crude at $88.19 a barrel. More business after 7.
Thank you, Mateo. Bringing the time to 6:31. Right, so Fiso, another arrest for that blue light saga.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. A third person has been arrested in connection with the Ekurhuleni blue light saga, alongside suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and alleged underworld boss or criminal boss Vusmuzi Matlala. The suspect is an EMPD official and will be facing fraud and corruption charges over allegations that private vehicles linked to Matlala were unlawfully registered as City of Ekurhuleni assets and fitted with blue emergency lights. Mkhwanazi was served with an arrest warrant yesterday while in the holding cells at the Brakpan Magistrates Court, where he was appearing for another case. IPID spokesperson Lizzie Shuping.
They will make their first appearance on this matter at the Germiston Magistrate Court tomorrow, the 28th of August 2026. The third suspect, who is an EMPD official, more information on this matter will be ventilated in court.
UCT students have been promised that their concerns will be ventilated in Parliament today. There are anxieties about NSFAS accommodation funding and the high and unregulated cost of student accommodation. About 600 students yesterday submitted a memorandum to the National Legislature. EFF MP Sihle Lonzi accepted it.
We are going to give you feedback. First thing tomorrow in the colloquium, we are going to raise this issue sharply, and each and every time we meet with the Committee on Parliament.
Some local airlines are considering carrying extra jet fuel from other airports to protect flights from disruption at OR Tambo International. This has been triggered by an unplanned shutdown at Sasol's Natref refinery, which has hit jet fuel supplies to South Africa's busiest airport. Sasol says the outage has affected its ability to meet full supply commitments for some products, including jet fuel. Anelita Fandese has more.
Sasol says it's partially supplying jet fuel customers at OR Tambo International Airport, while Natref works to restore normal operations. But that has pushed airlines to seek alternative sources of fuel supply, including tankering, which means aircrafts could load extra fuel at another airport before flying into OR Tambo, reducing their dependence on fuel available at the Johannesburg hub. But carrying extra fuel also means carrying extra weight, which can increase operating costs and affect the economics of a flight. FlySafair says it has already increased supplies from alternative providers and its operations are currently protected by contingency measures. Sasol says the Natref refinery has experienced an unplanned shutdown of a downstream unit, impacting its ability to meet its full supply commitments of certain product grades. Anelita Fandese, Eyewitness News.
Rescue teams in Nepal are trying to rescue around 100 people trapped inside a tunnel at a hydropower project swamped by a devastating flood. The Prime Minister's office says in a statement that 350 people have already been rescued from the area. 6 South Africans are among the many people who are still missing after Wednesday's floods and landslides. Authorities say the death toll has now risen to 469. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures are at lows of 10 and 12 degrees, peaking at highs between 22 and 24 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got an accident on the N1 South that happened right near the Baklu interchange. It's causing delays coming out of Allendale Road. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North due to a car stuck on the road between the Elands turnoff and Van Buren Road. While traveling in the heading towards the Joburg CBD, do expect delays on the Mark 1 North between Boysons Road and Car Street due to peak time delays.
The top story this hour, a third person has been arrested in connection with the Ekurhuleni blue light saga.
It's a good thing you're naked in traffic, because what if the highway is jammed? during rush hour, and you're the reason why. With Naked, you can request tow truck assistance instantly on the app. Go to naked.insure now and get comprehensive car insurance at a lower premium. Because when bad things happen, it's a good thing you're naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
When it comes to corporate travel, South African Airways knows what you need. SAA services are designed specifically for the business traveler. Experience competitive rates, flexible travel options with waived change fees, and fully refundable and flexible tickets for a hassle-free journey. SAA dedicated key account management means your travel needs are meticulously handled every step of the way. Plus, earn Voyager miles on every trip and relax in our luxurious business class lounges. South African Airways, where your travel needs are our priority. We don't just fly you, we prioritize your travel needs. Visit flysaa.com or call your nearest travel agent to tailor your corporate travel experience. South African Airways, transforming business travel.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. Are you ready to play Multiplay 2 from the 1st of September? I hope so. Multiplay 2, a new way to multiply your chances of winning the Powerball and the Lotto. Think about it like this. Multi is for multiple combinations. Play is for play more chances. And 2 is for 2 extra numbers. Now you can choose 8 numbers. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
You'll drive 20 extra minutes, walk past 3 competitors, ignore every special sign, just to get to your place, your bakery, your bookshop, your car wash, your family restaurant. Because loyalty doesn't always choose the closest, it chooses the best. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Rewarding the local businesses and entrepreneurs that have earned that place in your life. The businesses that deliver every time and keep you coming back for more. Go to primediaplus.com now to view the awards categories and nominate the business that's earned your loyalty. Because if they're worth the drive, they're worth the nomination. Gauteng's greatest awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Less admin, more time for what you love. Yoko, let's grow on 702 and primediaplus.com.
Right, coming up in the program in the next hour, it's What's the Question? And it's brought to you by Outsurance. Up for grabs 3,000 rands in cash. All you need to do is send us an answer based on anything that has piqued your interest in the show, and you could win 1,000 rands. Simply WhatsApp your name and that answer to 072 702 1702. And of course, a little bit later on, someone else will ask the question to win 2,000 rand. Remember, you stand a better chance of being selected to give us today's answer if you have SMS out to Outsurance and got yourself a quote. So SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance.
This is 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted connectivity, powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
Hey, Manu Ray, Open Foslas Ray, Dadam Rara didn't lose his cool. He was threatening the guy, although the guy was maybe out of line, but that was threat. Maybe Mutewa can explain to you in English what was he saying in our mother tongue. That was a threat. It was not losing your temper. It was a threat, and he must be disqualified out of the race of the mayor of Johannesburg today, 5 o'clock when they submit. That was a pure threat. He didn't lose it. Thank you.
Morning, 702. Ray, I kind of disagree a little bit with Mateo, basing Dada Morero's utterances on the way he explained that he shouldn't have done due to. But we must also forget that the guy was called a criminal. And, you know, under the pressures of what's been happening, obviously, within the sphere of politics, yes, maybe a little bit wrong for Dada to do that. But, you know, it can be a little bit justified because he wasn't insulting the situation or making fun of the situation of not having electricity, people not having electricity. It was based directly on one person that was insulting him in a very almost derogatory way by if you call someone a criminal, you must base it on something. I understand if he had said the organization is criminal, but he called him specifically a criminal, and that's not a nice thing to say as well. So it's not just about it being an electricity issue. He was not directing his utterances at the situation at hand. It was directed at a person.
Yeah, I think you need to be careful if you are calling somebody corrupt, because he's not facing corruption charges. There's nothing against him. I know that tempers are running high because of the lack of service delivery. Electricity is one, water is another, and I think it gets people very angry. But to be called corrupt, I don't know if I would have lost my temper, but tempers are running high. The temperature is high at the moment. Aubrey and Vosloorus, yes, I did. I looked through the transcript this morning, and I see exactly what was said to him. You are corrupt. And then he exploded back and used all sorts of horrible words and things like that, which we beeped out in our soundbites. But just thinking about it as well, leaders, bosses, politicians, is it okay for them to lose their tempers once in a while? I don't think it is. I think that if you are in that position, you shouldn't. But sometimes you just get pushed that one step too far, and that's what happened. He has apologized. There is that as well. He met with a person afterwards. Perhaps his advisor said to him, "Whoa, Dada, that was not a good idea." But 702 Land, I'd like to know from you, is it okay to lose your temper once in a while? I'm not sure if I could have kept my tongue. I'm being honest with you.
EWN Sport.
Cindy Paluta, now I know you don't wear your jersey just before the Boks play, but I'm the only one wearing a jersey today. What's going
well
on?
done, Ray. That's really impressive.
Yeah, like a noddy badge for Ray. But are these jerseys too expensive? Is that the problem? What is the problem?
No, not at all. I think people sometimes forget that we have. I would say it's the marketing behind the Friday being Bok Friday, etc., etc. Interestingly enough, though, when I traveled in 2023, we were on a cruise, and it just so happened to be quarterfinals and semifinals of the Rugby World Cup, and we were speaking to some New Zealanders on the boat, and we were telling them that in a World Cup, generally in a World Cup year, Fridays are Bok Fridays. So everybody wears their jersey on the day that the Boks play or on the Friday that the Boks play. And the children do it, they wear it to school. And the New Zealander said to me, "We don't have that." And he said, maybe that's what's different between you guys and us. It's like this whole celebration. The nation gets behind the team, where the All Blacks don't have that. So hopefully that'll be the motivation the team needs for tomorrow.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so let's keep it with rugby then.
Yes, because last night, Joel Stransky, the South African legend, as well as New Zealand's Zinzan Brook, have both been inducted into World Rugby's Hall of Fame. Stransky kicked all of South Africa's points in their 1995 World Cup victory, including an extra-time drop goal. Various media outlets reporting that Andre Pollard is in doubt for tomorrow's second test with the All Blacks due to a calf injury. Nothing confirmed from the Boks yet, though. If ruled out, Manny Libok would take his place. Prop Thomas du Toit believes the scrums will play an important part in deciding tomorrow.
We try and stay within the laws of the game as much as we can and as much as we perceive it. And, there's always two sides to the coin. One person's walking around as the other person's straight. Something happens on the other side of the scrum as well. And the ref can only blow what he sees in front of him. So much credit has to go to the referees on the way that they see these things. They try and see everything, and it must be so difficult.
All Blacks made 3 changes to the starting lineup. Leroy Carter starts on the wing ahead of Josh Morby. Simon Parker and George Bauer come in for Josh Lord and Ethan de Groot, who are both out after clashing heads last week. Coach Dave Rennie.
I've been really disappointed with last weekend, and there's obviously been a lot of talk around how they bounced back last year. But we've talked a lot about us being better. We think we can be a lot better than we were last weekend, and so that's the key. We've got to be able to lift our level. We know they're going to be better. But we don't want to focus totally on what South Africa are going to bring. We want to focus on what we can bring.
Change to the referee for tomorrow. Angus Gardner replaces Nika Mashikeli, who is ill, and will take charge of the third test instead. In Football League Cup last night, were Danny Welbeck scoring on debut for Chelsea in a 2-0 win over Luton. Before the match, the Blues confirmed the signing of goalkeeper Martinez from Aston Villa. Chelsea will face Leeds next. Fulham got a 3-0 win over Wimbledon. They'll play West Ham in the third round. The draw done for the Champions League last night. Defending champions PSG drawn to play Manchester City and Aston Villa, as well as Barcelona in the league phase, while the runners-up
up, Arsenal will host Real Madrid and have also been handed a trip to Bayern Munich. And in Test cricket at Lord's Day, won England 248 for 9 stumps. In the second Test, Pakistan, Mohammad Abbas took 4 wickets. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Hi, this is Carol Shabalala, Hollywood Bets brand ambassador. It's more fun when it's for fun. Playing responsibly is always a winning strategy. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling toll-free counseling line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
You hear that? That's the sound of business execution finally visible. No more chasing people and reports, no more disconnected systems, no more guessing if our business is performing or not. iStratGo connects strategy, people, performance, and day-to-day work into one clear software platform, so leaders can see what's working, what's not, and where to focus. Because when execution is visible, everything runs better. Book a demo on istratgo.com. istratgo.com.
The Checkers Hyper Price Drop is back. Save up to 40% on Nescafe Classic Instant Coffee 200 grams, any 2 for 199 Rand. Save 91 Rand. Crystal Valley Long Life Full Cream Milk, a 1 litre 6-pack, 3 for 279 Rand. And Pampers Mega Box Nappies or Pants for 399 Rand each. Save 330 Rand. Valid until 6 September. Only at Checkers Hyper.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
Funding institutions like the Industrial Development Corporation are reporting significant financial challenges in the 2026 financial year.
Most of our business partners face pressures from uncertainty. Earlier on in the year, the U.S. government hit countries, including South Africa, with U.S. tariff measures, and also the possible erosion of the African Growth and Opportunity Act benefits.
The IDC CEO, Mahoshi Lekhaete.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show is brought to you by ABSA Corporate and Investment Banking. Across West Africa, Genza Energy is strengthening reliable energy supply with more than 334 megawatts of installed generation capacity, while building the infrastructure needed for future growth. Through a EU 456 million rand financing facility, ABSA CIB is proud to support Genza's progress. That's how we're invested in your story. ABSA is a registered FSP.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
Hi, my name is Caitlin Ali. I'm in grade 7. I go to Linwood Ridge Primary School and I'm 13 years old. And when I grow up, I want to become a doctor and I can't wait to play the Whiz Quiz with Uncle Ray.
702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
EWN Traffic.
It's 12 minutes to 7 o'clock. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance if you don't ask them for 500 Rand. Right. It was a quiet morning. Now, N1 North, there's been a crash.
There has been indeed, Ray. This is in the city of Tshwane along the N1 North. It happened after the flying saucer interchanges, causing heavy delays. Please be on the lookout there. Heading towards areas like Hatfield, please try to use the N14 northbound. Traffic is flowing there. Then if you're heading towards Marlborough or Whitmead, do expect delays on the N1 South between New Road and the Baku interchange. That's due to roadworks. There's also queuing traffic along the N3 North. A car is stuck on the road between the Yelands interchange and Van Buren Road. As a result, about a 20-minute hold up there. Then if you're heading towards Fourways, queuing traffic between the Madibongo Drive exit and Winnie Mandela Drive. That's on the N1 North. So please try to avoid that route as well. We'll have more updates coming up. Do stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. Clever excuses for being late. Number 91. The lift looks suspicious, so I had to take the stairs all the way up. Fortunately, with the Outsurance pointsman on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. The Outsurance pointsmen have been easing traffic congestion so we all get to where we need to be quickly and safely for the past 20 years. With Outsurance, you really always get something out. In partnership with 702, Outsurance is a licensed insurer in the FSP.
Cloud adoption is no longer the differentiator.
business value is today's leading organizations need more than technology platforms. They need better visibility, faster decision making, and the agility to respond to change. BCX connects cloud, cybersecurity, managed services, AI, and trusted telecom business connectivity into one intelligent ecosystem that helps organizations improve operational performance, strengthen resilience, and create measurable business outcomes. BCX, connected multi-cloud, intelligent business. BCX enables businesses. Visit bcx.co.za.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. Are you ready to play Multiplay 2 from the 1st of September? I hope so. Multiplay 2, a new way to multiply your chances of winning the Powerball and the Lotto. Think about it like this. Multi is for multiple combinations. Play is for play more chances. And 2 is for 2 extra numbers. Now you can choose 8 numbers. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
702 proudly presents the Dina Letty stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2026.
We're gonna have some fun. You guys ready?
This is Jazz Reignited.
Jazz.
Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
Smart business moves mean more cash flow. Switch to Outsurance Business Insurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Here's Dr. Fahim from Matrix Dental.
We were with our previous insurers for many years prior to the switch. We found that Outsurance really understood our business needs. We are happy with our premiums. I wish we had switched sooner.
Get a quote to switch and save today. Visit outsurance.co.za or call 0600 60,000. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Right, time to play the Whiz Quiz. Good morning, Caitlin. How you doing?
Good morning, Uncle Ray. I'm doing great, and you?
I'm not bad, not bad. So nice to talk to you on the radio. Now, did I hear correctly you want to be a doctor one day?
Yes.
Ooh, what's your favorite subject at school then?
My favorite subject is Afrikaans.
Afrikaans, okay.
Yes.
Hoe gaan het met u vanoggend?
I beg your pardon?
Don't worry, I'm just asking you in Afrikaans how you're doing this morning. Are you ready for the Whiz Quiz?
Yes.
Lovely. Okay, this is how it works. I'm going to ask you 10 questions. For every one you get right, you get 100 Rand. If you get 10 out of 10 in 60 seconds, we'll give you 10,000 Rand. And then you get to come to 702 to visit us. How does that sound?
That sounds amazing.
Fantastic. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Let's play the Whiz Quiz. KG, start the clock. Which province is Durban located in?
KZN.
Correct. What you call animals that eat both plants and meat?
Omnivores.
Correct. What is the capital of Kenya? Is it Nairobi or Mombasa?
Nairobi.
Correct. How many legs does a spider have?
8.
Correct. True or false, the colored part of the eye is called the iris?
True.
Correct. Which South African mountain is a national monument?
Pass.
Oh, it's Table Mountain. In maths, what is 16 plus 17?
31.
Incorrect, 33. Which sport has tournaments called the IPL, the 100, and the SA20?
Pass.
Okay, it's cricket. True or false, the sloth is the slowest animal on land?
True.
Correct. Oh, you didn't get to the last one. Okay, guys, I need to see some fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I say 6. 6, it is 600 Rand on its way to you. How does that sound, Caitlin?
That sounds great.
Lovely. Well, good luck with the medicine. I'll be looking out for you.
Yes.
Lovely. Thanks, Caitlin. That's Caitlin from the Linwood Ridge Primary School. So if you want to enter the Whiz Quiz, well, you can. Just WhatsApp us on 072 702 1702.
The brainy kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
702.
The Political Desk.
And today, looking at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, it has delivered another revealing week of testimony with alleged crime boss Vusimusi Katmatlala facing intense questioning about his relationships with powerful figures in the police, business and taxi industries. His evidence has included claims about meetings, money, and his relationship with the former Hawks officials as well. So that's on the one hand. Then we also saw General Godfrey Lebeer. He's the former Hawks head, also taking the stand. That was yesterday, facing intense questioning as well. Well, joining us is Eyewitness News reporter Karinda Jagmohan. Karinda, hi, good morning. Good to have you on breakfast.
Good morning, Ray. Thanks for having me on.
So let's take a look at this week, because I've been watching with intense interest. I want to start with Vusimusi Matlala. Was he selective in what he told the commission? How did he come across to you? Because I know that he started by saying he didn't want to incriminate himself. Then he opened up somewhat. How did you take him? What did you learn from him?
Certainly, while it was quite difficult for evidence leaders to extract testimony from Vusimusi Matlala this whole week, in fact, from Monday, he's been using a sort of blanket approach when it comes to his right against self-incrimination. He's been using that right to refuse to answer questions on many aspects, including his dealings with Hangwani Maumela as well as General Shadrack Sibiya. In fact, he didn't even answer the commission's questions when it came to Sibiya, saying that the matter is under investigation related to his Medicare 24 contract. But on face value, there's nothing there regarding the investigations other than allegations that Matlala paid Sibiya by way of impalas to sort of influence the awarding of this contract, among other allegations. So it's been difficult to extract testimony from him, but evidence leaders have had to go question by question to say, why can't you answer to this? What particular part of this is under investigation? Eventually leading him to open up in some cases and then reveal more information than what was before us. In fact, it was his testimony last week that placed Suleiman Karim on the farm of Jotham Msibi, and it was his testimony that revealed information that he gave up to KZN's General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi about alleged cartel member Steve Motsomi. So he's been giving up information, but very reluctantly so.
Yeah, it's interesting, though. We are starting to get a picture regardless of that. But we do still need to know more about Shadrack Sibiya and this relationship and how he ties into everything. We've got a fair amount of information so far, but Karinda, we need to know more.
Certainly. So this really was highlighted on the third day of his testimony, on Wednesday, Matlala's testimony. And it goes back to his relation with former Hawks head, Lesetja Sedona, who set up a meeting between General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi and Vusimusi Matlala in April last year. And it was from that meeting that we hear that payments were allegedly made to Sibiya. It's just that Matlala is not being forthcoming about who made these payments. Now, Sibiya has been linked to the alleged Big Five cartel, this including suspected role players like Jotham Msibi, upon whose farm all of these role players came to, Hangwani Maumela, Steve Motsomi, all of these names coming up, with Sibiya's being one of them. And it is alleged that Sibiya had been receiving payments via an alleged middleman, Suspended Sergeant Fani Nkosi. But what has not been declared truthfully in front of the commission by any of these witnesses is who these payments were from. In fact, Sibiya himself has, of course, withheld information in this regard. But we know that there were payments to him via impalas. We know there was also property transfers as well, a property in Stanton. And it is alleged, and this is, of course, speculation at this point, that this was because of apparent gratification in terms of the sway he could have in the SAPS.
Yeah. All right, let's park that for a while, because there was the former Hawks head Godfrey Lebeer yesterday saying he didn't know KT Molefe. There was that big arrest, you'll remember that as well, and questions about whether Hawks officials were sent to disrupt that arrest. I mean, I must admit, yesterday, I've always held Godfrey Lebeer in a very high esteem. Yesterday he painted the picture, he came out with it, he said what he said. But still, there's so many questions about that police raid.
Absolutely. In fact, Lebeer said he is the epitome of integrity and honesty. But there are so many questions remaining about his leadership at the Hawks and that raid particularly. Now, just a reminder that his testimony yesterday was just him reading his statement. So there was no pressing questions. That will happen at a later time. So That raid that happened on the 6th of December 2024 was an SAPS Gauteng crime intelligence operation to arrest Katiso Molefe for the alleged murder of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart. So this is a murder investigation. Now, there were multiple units on that Sandton house that day. And then as well, Hawks members who were allegedly interfering in that operation. There was a chopper, apparently, and many aspects around this.
You see, that's, Corinda, we'll have to leave it there, I'm afraid, because I think this is an interview that we need to have over maybe an hour. There's so many questions, I'm afraid, coming from the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry, but those terms have been extended, and we'll hear over the next couple of weeks what's happening. In fact, a brand new witness today as well. So, Corinda, thank you so much. That's Corinda Jagmohan, who's from Eyewitness News. Good to have you on Breakfast this morning.
7:02.
Coming up, the big interview.
Right, in the next 20 minutes, talking vaccinations, and many parents seem to be not vaccinating their children, and we run a real risk of some preventable diseases coming back as strong as ever. So asking the questions of you as parents, why are you not vaccinating your children if you are not? And I'll be talking to the health department about this just to find out. They've got a program coming up to ensure that parents do vaccinate their infants. So I'll be getting some more details for you, but it's just after 7 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Julius Mkhwanazi and Kat Matlala are expected side by side in court, and there are fears of more disaster as teams scramble to find survivors in Nepal. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Suspended EMPD Deputy Chiefs Julius Mkhwanazi and alleged crime boss Vusmuzi Kat Matlala are today expected to appear in the Germiston Magistrates Court together. Mkhwanazi was arrested again yesterday along with an EMPD official. They are accused of being involved in unlawfully fitting blue emergency lights on Matlala's cars. Mkhwanazi is facing charges in 4 other cases, including the murder of businessman Emmanuel Mbenze in 2022. Matlala has been in prison since last year on attempted murder charges. Demakosole Shoro takes a look.
The state is opposing Julius Mkhwanazi's bail application in the Emmanuel Mbenze murder case, and the new arrest could further complicate his bid for freedom. Legal expert Ian Ellis says the growing number of cases against Mkhwanazi could make it increasingly difficult for him to secure bail, particularly as the allegation appear to follow a similar pattern of corruption and fraud. Mkhwanazi is already on bail on 3 other matters, and the latest case is his 5th set of criminal charges.
The problem is when it comes with this issue with Kat Matlala, because there's also been so much evidence presented at the Madlanga Commission, certain of it can be used in support of opposing bail.
The case against Mkhwanazi and his former colleagues, including Imogen Mashazi, Linda Xasheka and Kemi Behari, is also expected to return to the Germiston Magistrates Court this morning. The state alleges the 4 worked together to block disciplinary action against Mkhwanazi after he allegedly fitted Vusimuzi Matlala's private vehicles with blue lights. Demakatso Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
The Madlanga Commission is considering the evidence of retired Hawks boss Godfrey Lebeya that he acted on a call from a civilian to verify a raid at the home of murder-accused Katiso Molefe. Lebeya's denial of interference in the arrest of Molefe 2 years ago took center stage at the Commission yesterday. His testimony was adjourned with his return yet to be scheduled. Karinda Jagmohan reports.
Over a 170-page testimony, Godfrey Lebeya, who retired in May last year, attempted to clear his name.
I am one of the embodiments of honesty and integrity.
Lebeya claims, against conflicting statements, he did not interfere in the takedown at Katiso Molefe's house, stating he acted on a call from civilian Malcolm X to send Hawks officers to verify the operation. By the end of his testimony, Lebeya admitted there's been no investigations into the 2021 theft of a multi-million rand drug consignment from the Hawks office in Port Shepstone, where former KZN Hawks head Lesetja Senona was in charge.
Nobody has suggested that the provincial head need to be investigated departmentally.
No, but this is what the recommendation says.
Lebeya's cross-examination date is yet to be confirmed. Corinda Jagmohan, Eyewitness News.
The special tribunal says Minenhle Makhanya had a responsibility to prevent fruitless and wasteful expenditure as head architects for a construction project at Jacob Zuma's homestead. Judgment by the tribunal found Makhanya personally liable for losses linked to the upgrades at the former president's Nkandla estate. The Constitutional Court in 2016 found Zuma unlawfully used millions of state funds for the refurbishments in the name of boosting security. Kosikona Malingamnisi reports.
The special tribunal has found that Minenhle Makhanya's appointment was unlawful as he was appointed without a competitive tender. It found he oversaw unauthorized expansions including tunnels, staff accommodation, roads and landscaping. These were outside the approved security requirements. The Special Investigating Unit says the project's budget grew from about 28 million rand to more than 216 million rand. SIU spokesperson Selby Makgoto says Makhanya must also pay legal costs, including the cost of two counsel.
The tribunal further found that Makhanya breached several statutory, professional and contractual obligations, including those arising from the Architectural Profession Act, the applicable Code of Professional Conduct, the Department's Manual for Architects and the Joint Building Contracts Committee Agreement.
Makgoto says the SIU accepted Makhanya's submission, reducing the claim by 7.8 million rand. This follows a payment by former President Jacob Zuma towards non-security related upgrades. The amount will be deducted from the total Makhanya must repay. Or see Kona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News.
And China and Nepal have issued new flood warnings 2 days after floods and landslides that killed more than 400 people. More than 1,400 victims are missing after a catastrophic torrent swept away entire villages along the Nepal-Tibet Himalayan border. 6 South Africans are among the missing. The U.S. Geological Survey says the disaster was caused by a glacial collapse that triggered a vast flow of icy debris. Climate change is causing glaciers to melt worldwide, increasing the risk of glacial lake floods and glacial collapses. UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham is among world leaders who will be offering search and rescue efforts.
Yes, these are such distressing scenes coming out of Nepal, and we feel for the people there and everything that they're going through at this moment in time. Such devastation of communities and already, sadly it seems, such huge loss of life.
Gold is trading at $4,601.89 an ounce. The rand is at $15.99 to the dollar, $21.74 to the pound, $18.64 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $89.20 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N1 North in the city of Tshwane due to an accident right at the Flying Saucer interchange. Delays from Botha Avenue. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 South leaving Midrand towards the Baku interchange on the N1 South right as you come out of Allendale Road.
And in your sport, the All Blacks have made 3 changes in the starting 15 ahead of tomorrow's second test. While unconfirmed reports that Handré Pollard has a calf injury, he could miss the match. Joel Stransky's been inducted into World Rugby's Hall of Fame. And the Proteas are playing Namibia in the first T20 of a tri-series starting today at 2 p.m.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 22 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and alleged crime boss Vismusi Matlala are today expected to appear in the Germiston Magistrates Court together.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
Joy of Jazz. The Standard Bank Joy of Jazz returns on September 25 and 26.
Thank you so much.
Join 702 at the Dina Lady stage. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
You're listening to 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX, technology that helps organizations move forward.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
It is 9 minutes past 7 o'clock. Good morning from me, Ray White, in for Bongles this morning. Yes, it's a Friday. Lots to celebrate this morning. You've made it to the end of the week. The weekend is in front of you. You've got some rugby tomorrow to watch. I must admit, I'm still a little bit floored by the fact that I'm the only one this morning wearing a Springbok rugby jersey.
That's a very good thing, Ray. We are so happy and proud that you are representing all of us.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's just
we
lovely.
are.
Hey?
It is lovely.
Okay, lovely. All right, if you are wearing your Springbok Rugby jersey this morning, do let us know. And I'm also asking the question, what do we need to do to beat those All Blacks? That's tomorrow. Game starts at 5 o'clock. Well, coming up on the program this morning, talking shortly about vaccines. Parents are not vaccinating their children. Infants under 1 year old are not receiving what they need. So I'll be chatting to the health department about this. In the past hour, talking about the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. Are we getting the full story, I'm asking, from testimony at the commission? We've heard from Vusumuzi Katmatlala and former Hawks head Godfrey Lebeer. But what's your take on what we've heard? I'd love to hear from you. And then our shout out this morning, we lost Dolly Parton this week. There have been so many social media posts about her. She was known for her music through the 70s, 80s, 90s. What's thinking? Have you passed on your music to your children? Or have they perhaps discovered your music or even something about you, something they didn't know about you? And they like kind of said to you, Mom, Dad, I had no idea you were this person. And then stirring things up a little bit, Dada Morero, he's our Joburg mayor. He's now apologized for losing his cool at an electricity meeting. He was meeting with residents to discuss the power situation in the west of Joburg. And somebody heckled him and called him corrupt, and he just lost it. And we played that clip earlier, and we had to bleep out a lot of words as well. Asking you, are leaders, bosses, or politicians allowed to lose their cool? Should they be allowed to lose their cool? They are human beings anyway. He has apologized. He met with the person involved. He said, I'm sorry for this. Are they allowed to lose their cool? What do you think about what happened with our Joburg mayor? Lots to talk about this morning. 072-702-1702.
What Dada Morero said to the member of the public yesterday in the yesterday meeting is exactly what he has been doing since he became the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. That's exactly what he has been doing. Incorrect billing, hijacked buildings. Nothing has been going right since then. Dada Morero became the mayor. That is exactly what he has been doing. What he told that member of public is exactly what he has been doing. Thank you.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Right, other things you need to know about this morning. Julius Mkhwanazi has been served with an arrest warrant and is expected in the Germiston Magistrates Court today on fraud and corruption charges. He allegedly approved blue lights for 4 luxury vehicles linked to Vusumuzi Katmatlala Security Company, with the vehicles also allegedly registered as City of Ekurhuleni assets. So that's a big one there. Then the controversial Mpumalanga taxi boss, Joe Ferrari Sibonyane, is due to appear before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry today, and again on the 2nd of next month. Now, Sibonyane and 2 others face extortion-related charges with allegations that they repeatedly demanded money from a businessman. Now, his business interests include taxis, mining, construction, and IT. So we should hear some more on that one today. And then here's a story. It's an interesting one. Actor Thomas Jacob Jack Black. You know him as Jack Black, okay? He turns 57 years old today. So born on this day in 1969. Black is best known for his roles in films such as School of Rock, that was a good one, Kung Fu Panda, The Holiday, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and also Tropic Thunder. Now, it's interesting, Jack Black has hilariously responded to actress Elle Fanning's very public declaration that he is the hottest man she has ever seen. So talking about crushes now, let's take a listen to this. I just love the way this came out.
Have you ever heard of body dysmorphia? Where when you look at yourself, you're like, oh, I'm so ugly, but really you're like this gorgeous creature? I think she's got like the opposite of that, where she looks at me, which objectively is a goblin gremlin, and she sees this gorgeous creature apparently. She's got that weird like goblin dysmorphia. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, but I have to close my eyes because I can't quite process what I'm hearing there. But thank you, Elle. And to the boyfriend, this dude, we got no beef. We're cool. I didn't do nothing to deserve this attentions.
There we go. So that's an interview with Vanity Fair. Got us thinking, who's your crush right now? Who are you crushing on? Might be someone famous, might be somebody you know. Who are you crushing on right now, Amoramela?
Well, right now I'm not crushing on anyone, but I remember I had a huge crush on a South African musician who does a very good job in mixing Zulu music with like urban kind of like music. Muzi, his name is Muzi.
Yeah.
Ray, I interviewed that poor guy 3 times because the whole time I was interviewing him, it wasn't recording. I was so starstruck. I recorded the interview. I said, okay, let's do the interview. We spoke. Then I figured I wasn't recording. Then I had to phone him again and I said, dude, I'm so sorry. I wasn't recording. I'm so starstruck. He understood. On we went again, it didn't record. And then on the 3rd time, he said to me, are you sure everything is working? Is my mic on? Is your mic on? And then I was like, yes. I'm so sorry.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, but you can really fluff when you have to do something around somebody that you have a huge crush on.
702 Land, who are you crushing on? I think Amo just didn't press record on purpose. Other things you need to know, 2 workers at Germany's Frankfurt airport have passed away after contracting malaria. And this is malaria in Germany, in what officials believe could be a rare case linked to a mosquito that arrived in the country on an aircraft. I'll have more with Adam on that a little bit later on in the World View. Then on this day in 2001, R&B powerhouse Mary J. Blige released her 5th studio album, No More Drama. Now, the album became one of their biggest successes, spawning hits such as Family Affair, No More Drama, and He Think I Could Never Love Again.
Broken heart again, another lesson learned. Better know your friends, or else you will get burned. Gotta count on me, 'cause I can guarantee that I'll be fine. No more pain, no more pain, no more pain, no more pain, no drama.
There we go. On this day, 2001, R&B powerhouse Mary J. Blige releasing her 5th studio album called No More Drama.
702. Up next,
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
17 minutes past 7 o'clock in this EWN Traffic, brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Right, what's happening with that crash on the N1 North, Amo?
Ray, unfortunately, is still there in the city of Tshwane, the N1 North, right as we approach the Flying Saucer interchange. At the moment, we've got delays coming out of the Water Avenue exit, so please be on the lookout there. If you're traveling on the R21 North as well towards the city of Tshwane, do expect heavier traffic volumes. And then, of course, if you're heading towards the Joburg CBD, queuing traffic on the Mark 1 North between Boysons Road and Car Street. I'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
To save money, you search multiple sites for the cheapest flight. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an Outsurance car insurance quote like 58-year-old Loretta, who saves
479 Rand. That's the 3rd card insured with Outsurance, really saving quite a lot.
That's an unbelievable 479 Rand saving on Loretta's 2017 BMW 320. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance saves 36-year-old Jill a jaw-dropping 471 Rand on her 2025 Hyundai i20.
471 Rand. I still can't believe, hey? Get Outsurance. Extra pampering money.
Always getting something out. Did you know Outsurance has paid out over 8.4 billion Rand in out bonuses? So, ready to switch and save? Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insured FSP. TCs and information online.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. Are you ready to play Multiplay 2 from the 1st of September? I hope so. Multiplay 2. A new way to multiply your chances of winning the Powerball and the Lotto. Think about it like this. Multi is for multiple combinations. Play is for play more chances. And 2 is for 2 extra numbers. Now you can choose 8 numbers. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
Are you an investor who likes easy access to your money, or do you prefer locking it away?
Absolutely, to both.
ABSA has an account for you. Earn up to 7.5% with ABSA Cash Invest Tracker and get immediate access to your money. Or earn up to 7.7% with a 12-month dynamic fixed deposit account. Invest on the ABSA app. Your story matters. ABSA is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Minimum investment required. Rates as of July 2026.
Another action-packed rugby weekend means another Bok Friday sale from Flice Affair. That's right, we're back with another winning deal to get the gears going and the fans moving. Starting from 10 a.m. today, for 80 minutes only, all domestic flights to and from Cape Town will be 30% off for travel until 30 November 2026. Get to fliceaffair.co.za, score unbeatable savings and fly like a champ. Flice Affair, trusted domestic carrier of the Springboks. T's and C's apply.
At Crawford International, confidence is built every day. We're encouraged to find our voice, think independently, and lead with courage, integrity, and compassion. In the classroom, on the sports field, and beyond, we learn to step forward, embrace opportunity, and make a meaningful difference. Crawford International, building global leaders. Join us for Open Day on 5 September and experience how we develop confident students ready to lead in a global world.
When we see a child with a facial condition or abnormality, it can be easy to see the condition before we see the child. But behind every diagnosis is a child who just wants to go to school, make friends, play, dream, and simply get on with being a kid. Next week, on Monday, on the 7:02 afternoon drive, we'll be talking to the Dis-Chem Foundation and the Smile Foundation about how their partnership is helping children move beyond the conditions or severe burns that can affect their confidence, their opportunities, and their lives. We'll also hear how the Socks for Smiles initiative gives you a simple way to help support life-changing reconstructive surgery for children across South Africa. The Dis-Chem Foundation, caring for the community. Every swipe counts.
7:02.
The Big Interview.
21 minutes past 7 o'clock. Now, the health department is calling on parents to make sure that their children are vaccinated. There has been a sharp decline in vaccinations, and this threatens to reverse decades of public health gains. The proportion of infants under 1 year receiving no vaccination has shot from 12.1% in 2017 to an alarming 36.3% between January and April this year. The question is, why are parents not making sure that their kids are vaccinated? Well, joining us is Dr. Nonhlanhla Ndlovu, who's the Deputy Director General for HIV, AIDS, TB, Maternal, Women and Child Health in the National Department of Health. Doctor, hi, good morning. Welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Good morning, and good morning to the listeners at home.
Why do you think this is happening? Why is it that parents are not taking the infants to be vaccinated?
The studies are showing, and some of the studies that have been done with the communities looking at what is happening on the ground, are showing that parents firstly have limited knowledge, awareness, and information around immunization of their children. In particular, even the schedule, on the road to health chart, card that they carry. Somehow parents are not aware. They are not as informed as we thought they are. So there is a lot of work that we need to do in reminding and educating and making them aware of the importance of immunization. The second point we are seeing that is coming out is that the perception or the mistrust around the safety of the vaccines and around our own trust in our system as the health system is coming out as another area of concern for parents. There are other causes what is also important is that we see this much more higher in metropolitan where the clinics are nearby. So what's the issue of transport and money is an issue, but it's not a major issue because in the metropolitan you find this is where the clinics are near. So those are the demand side of the issue that we are facing. And that is why we are now having a campaign and looking at both from the media, you assisting us to communicate and to tell the parents that the vaccines are very safe. We've used them for years. They've protected children. We have not seen the increase of these infections as we see them, which are very dangerous and can be deadly to our children.
That's actually, I just want to jump in here quickly and looking at this. Are we losing our herd immunity? And we learned this with COVID-19 in that we all had to get our vaccination because eventually we'd have that herd immunity. Are we starting to lose that against things like maybe rubella, measles, diseases like that?
We are losing our herd immunity, particularly I'll highlight the measles, which for us was very important. We were very good. Our vaccination was good. We were having herd immunity. We're seeing that. We are also seeing it on the diphtheria, which now, with the loss of the herd immunity, it means those diseases are even coming back, not just for children. We are seeing them now in adults, which has got a very high fatality because of the non-immunization of our children and even the boosters that we need on the children that are already in school. We are losing that herd immunity that we've had for a while in the country.
It's very concerning. I mean, and not to point fingers, but does this not lie with the health department and education? And you did allude to this earlier on, but when a mommy has a child, there needs to be those posters up. There needs to be that follow-up that you come back to the clinic or the hospital to get a jab.
I think that still remains, and we do have those posters. We still have our Road to Health chart, which the mother is taken through during delivery, but also our community health workers who then discusses at home. I admit that we need to do more. I think the issue is the kind of engaged parents that we used to have in this era is not as much, but we are also seeing quite more on our younger parents. I guess the issue of the mode of communication that we have to change as well on reaching them. I believe there's also quite a lot that happens on the social media around the myths on these issues. So there is a lot of work that we are admitting on our side, from the supply side, that we will be doing in terms of re-engaging. But let's remember, the issue that we are discussing is not a health department issue. It's a community societal issue. Everyone has to understand the importance and assist us, because one child that is not, by the way, vaccinated and spreads the infections within our ECD, our schools, can cause quite a serious problem for the entire community. So we do want to call our communities to stand up now and look at the issue of immunization and vaccination of children. And we will be working with other departments as well.
I just want to jump in here. What programs are you rolling out? A little bit push for time. What programs, number one, are we rolling out? Number two, it's free, isn't it? If you want to have your kids vaccinated, you just go to a clinic.
Firstly, it is free and it's available anytime, and you can go anytime. Secondly, the communication that we are running now. Thirdly, we'll be working with our community health workers on the ground to reach our household with the information. We will be also working with the Department of Education so that we are able to reach the children in ECDs and in schools to check and assist us so that we make sure we can close the gap.
Yeah, good to have you with us. Thank you so much, Dr. Nonhlanhla Ndlovu, Deputy Director General for HIV/AIDS, TB, Maternal Women and Child Health at the National Department of Health. Have your child vaccinated. The last thing we want is for things like polio to re-manifest in society. Love your reaction on this. 072-702-1702.
EWN Business.
So, Mateo, it's a big story this morning. I mean, the IDC books major losses as that tax bill, also partnerships hit the funder. It's quite concerning.
Yeah, the Industrial Development Corporation reporting a significant loss of 4.6 billion rand for the financial year ended in March 2026, a sharp reversal from the profits it saw of 329 million rand in 2025 and 7.5 billion in 2024. So it reported revenue of 15.8 billion rand and operating profit of 384 million. However, it also had a major hit, 1.8 billion rand in losses from companies in which it holds stakes, together with a 3.1 billion rand tax bill for SARS. The group reporting it had disbursed about 17 billion rand in investments and mobilized a further 28 billion rand from co-funders and investment partners. Now, the CFO, Isaac Malevu, says the 4.7 billion rand loss was mainly attributable to phosphate rock miner and fertilizer producer Fosco, which is 59% directly owned by the IDC.
Sure. Right, NVIDIA, they've got that whole thing about, making 70 billion or something like that over the next year. Impressive stuff. Has also helped the markets.
High ambitions and also a market favorite for those looking for quick profits. Stocks advanced on Thursday, led higher by the chip maker NVIDIA's post-earnings rally, up nearly 9% on the New York Stock Exchange. The technology sector, S&P 500 and the Nasdaq Composite all recording their best day this month. Asia markets were mostly lower on Friday. Japan's benchmark Nikkei down marginally. South Korea's Kospi was also down 1%. Australia's S&P ASX 200 rising marginally. In Hong Kong, the Hang Seng opened far lower, while the mainland China shares were also down this morning. JSE, not much to write about yesterday. Down 7 points was the all-share industrials, the only index really up 0.5%. Banking stocks were in the red, with mining shares also lower. The rand this morning weakening against the dollar at exactly 16 rand against the US dollar, 18 rand 63 against the euro, 21 rand 74 cents against the British pound. Price of gold $4,580 an ounce, or platinum is at $1,851. Brent crude at $88.35 a barrel. More business after 8.
Thanks, Mateo. Brings the time to 7:31. Right, so Fiso, I see Julius Mkhwanazi back in the news again.
That's right, Ray. Good morning. Please note the following story contains graphic details. Post-mortem details have been read into the record in the bail hearing of suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and 5 co-accused. They have been charged in connection with the alleged killing of businessman Emmanuel Mbense in 2022. During the cross-examination of IPID investigator Nomsa Masuku yesterday, the defense read from the post-mortem report, which records at least the cause of death as a head injury due to blunt force trauma. Dimakazo Loshuro has the details.
The report describes multiple injuries to Mbense's forehead and face and states that his body had been submerged in water for between 12 and 24 hours. The defense argued that the only external injuries recorded were to Mbense's head and face, despite allegations that he was assaulted and tortured for around 5 hours. But investigating officer Nomsa Masuku refused to concede that there were no other injuries, saying a pathologist would have to testify on the findings. The defense also pointed to findings of bleeding on Mbense's brain and extensive internal bleeding on both lungs. Mkhwanazi, Kuabasiyanse van Rensburg, Bego kwakhe Sibande, Kesha Stolz, Adrian McKenzie and Yuan Marie Extien have all been charged with the murder but have denied killing Mbense. One suspect linked to the murder, Zander Fritz, is understood to be on the run in the US. He's also expected to soon be added to the group of 6. Dimakazo Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating allegations of corruption in the criminal justice system is proposing the establishment of an independent police security vetting agency. The proposal is for the vetting of all police and intelligence officials to address the reported weaponization of the vetting system in the internal battles in the police service. The recommendation forms part of a draft report which was considered by the committee yesterday. Babalo Ndenze has more.
Members of the ad hoc committee say KZN Provincial Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi during the hearings testified on how the vetting system was used to target certain individuals. The committee heard how senior officials in the police have sat for years in strategic positions without having a security clearance due to lengthy delays in the process. The ANC's Khosela Sangonitiko says the agency will address the challenges and delays.
It was not consistent, it was almost weaponized. And then we are happy to move our last sentence to the recommendations, where we are proposing an establishment of an independent security vetting and integrity testing agency.
MK Party MP David Skosana.
You know, this vetting system, it's a problem. And I think they've raised it many times. It's a problem. It takes years. And I think General Mkhwanazi said it.
The recommendation, if adopted, will form part of the solutions aimed at reforming the country's police system in line with the committee's terms of reference. Babalo Ndenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
A legal showdown may be on the cards between ANC members Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma and Fikile Mbalula over allegations of vote buying. Mbalula recently served Dlamini Zuma with court papers demanding a retraction and apology for her comments in which she accuses him of bribing ANC delegates during the party's 2017 national elective conference. But in a media statement issued yesterday, Dlamini Zuma says she stands by her comments and is willing to take it to court and defend them. Tabiso Goba reports.
The issue of vote buying has been a consistent dark cloud over ANC elective conferences. Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma says her narrow loss to Cyril Ramaphosa in the party's 2017 presidential election was down to vote buying. Speaking recently on the African Renaissance podcast, Dlamini Zuma says Mbalula was dishing out money to ANC voting delegates to turn the election for Ramaphosa. Mbalula has denied this, calling the allegations defamatory. Dlamini Zuma recently apologized to Ronald Lamola for making similar vote-buying allegations against him on the same podcast episode. Tabiso Goba, Eyewitness News.
And rescue teams in Nepal are trying to get around 100 people trapped inside a tunnel at a hydropower project swamped by a devastating flood. The Prime Minister's office says in a statement that 350 people have already been rescued from the area. 6 South Africans are among the many people who are still missing after Wednesday's floods and landslides. Authorities say the death toll has now risen to 469. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 22 and 24 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in the Devlin area. That's due to roadworks taking place along the Golden Highway between Union Avenue and East Street. And then if you are leaving Soweto, you might want to avoid the Soweto Highway right at the circle. This is due to heavy traffic volumes due to peak time delays.
The top story this hour, post-mortem details of a businessman who died in Brakpan in 2022 have been read into the record in the bail hearings of suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi.
Light the fire this weekend with Checkers. We have everything you need to keep the braai and the geus going strong. Get pork braai chops for $58.99 per kilo. Traditional Texas-style burger patties for $139.99 per kilo. And buy a pack consisting of beef club and T-bone steak for $139.99 and get a 250ml pepper sauce free. Valid until 6 September. Only at Checkers, Checkers Hyper, or shop on 6060.
Exe, 1 liter is 25 rand. It's the Makoya, this one. Serious.
You get a deal, but who pays? Illicit trade hurts families, kills jobs, and funds criminals. When you buy food, drinks, fuel, or cigarettes that seem too cheap, someone always pays. Cheap comes at a price. Illicit trade robs South Africa of income and destroys our economy. Choose legal products. If you suspect fake goods or that something is illicit, report it. Visit www.ychp.co.za. Your choice has power.
So the other day I get this call from an insurance company. They asked me if I knew what their third-party policy entails. I said, third party? Whoa, big dog. I haven't even been invited to the first one yet. And they just put down the phone. I don't get it.
Don't get that insurance. Get Pineapple. It's easy to get and online. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. T's and C's apply.
Remember the first time your soul felt alive? Well, that feeling is calling you back. Come to where your soul gets reborn through music at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, featuring global icons such as Kamasi Washington, Ibrahim Malouf, and the trumpets of Michael Angie, also Angelique Kidjo, Naboya Garcia, Flo Tree Temba, Africa Mkhize as well. Judah Sapuma is going to be there. Mokoe Mkhubata, also Manana, and Tandiswa Muzwai, just to name a few. These iconic stages, 4 iconic stages, one unforgettable experience at the Sandton Convention Centre. This Women's Month, gather your circle and join us at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival this September. Enjoy 10% off when you book 10 festival tickets. This is Jazz Reignited. Get your weekend pass for the 25th to the 26th of September now via Ticketmaster.
702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa is brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted telecom business connectivity. Powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
Good morning, Ray. This is Selma from Roodepoort. If they tell the parents that when they get things like chickenpox or German measles or any of those things, it can affect them so much, but they get it in a very worse grade than the children would. So, and it often gets shown in the fact that they get encephalitis, which is brain inflammation. Now, that is what kills people. So please, they must put it up everywhere that if you don't immunize your child, you might get the disease and you might die because you will probably get encephalitis. And I tell you, that headache is not funny. I had it. Thanks for a lovely show. Bye.
Good morning, 702 Landers. I think with this topic of vaccination, the challenge we're facing is that us as young mothers, we're not really educated about this. Even when you go to the public services, the service that you get there is not as it should be. Your child will get the vaccination, but you're not even told what it is for, because remember, we don't understand the words that are written there, BCG or all of those things. So you don't know what it is for, and they just vaccinate your child, say come undress the child, we're gonna give him to the one this side and this side. You don't know what it's for. So if we can get educated on what the vaccination is for and what will it help your child with, then I think it would be important for us to bring them to the clinics. Amanda from Alberton.
Amanda, you're quite right. And that's the thing. That's the point I brought up with the Deputy Director General. There has to be that education that goes out there, that there's a reason why you're getting vaccinated. Also, what are you getting vaccinated against? I mean, Cindy, I don't know if you still got the scar from when we were vaccinated many, many years ago. They used to have this 5-in-1 thing. This big machine that just went into your arm and left this little scar on your shoulder. I've still got that scar. But I'm happy to say I never got polio or measles or any of those things because it worked. I mean, it was really, really interesting.
I don't have the scar, but my husband does. But I was vaccinated, yeah. As a child, yeah.
And it works. It works. My daughter was, my son was. Everybody's been vaccinated. So go get yourself vaccinated. But I hear your points, Amanda. You're quite right. We need to be told what exactly they are vaccinating against.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question? Brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. First 1,000 Rand for the answer, and then a little bit later on, 2,000 Rand if you gave us the question. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Okay, we need an answer, so let's go to Clarity in Centurion. Clarity, hi, good morning. Welcome to breakfast.
Thank you, Ray. How are you?
I'm good. I need an answer. Give me a nice answer.
The answer for today is no more drama.
Ooh, that's a nice one. A very nice one. Do you have a quote with Outsurance?
Yes, I do, Ray.
Well, then you got.
I am a member.
Lovely. $1,000 on its way to you. All right, Clarity. Thanks for that one. No more drama. That is the answer. What then is the question? I'll take the fifth caller on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
Right, Cindy, so of course it's there's a big match tomorrow, isn't there?
This is a small one.
Yeah, at around about 5 o'clock.
So the All Blacks have made 3 changes to the starting lineup for tomorrow's second test with the Springboks. Big one for the Springboks. They have to fight back. Leroy Carter's on the wing ahead of Josh Morby. Simon Parker and George Bauer come in for Lord and De Groot, who are both out after clashing heads last week. Here's Parker.
Yeah, I guess it's just exciting to get your opportunity, and just looking forward to playing my part on Saturday and getting stuck in. But yeah, like you say, it doesn't matter your role within this team. We're all just trying to, I guess, do our best for the jersey and best for the country. So yeah, that's just my role this week. Had some good feedback from the coaches, and it was just biding my time until my opportunity came.
No confirmation from SA Rugby yet, but it's reported Handré Pollard could be in doubt for tomorrow due to a calf injury. If so, Manny Libok would start. Here's prop Thomas Tutoya on what the team's worked on improving.
I think the important thing for us was to park that game and take the learning as quickly as we can. I think we've done an incredible job over the last couple of years in putting every individual week, every individual game in its own box, and not trying to go back to that box and looking behind us the whole time at what we did wrong, and just trying to rectify as much as we can and trying to make it right as quickly as we can.
Yeah. Interesting, if Handré Pollard's not there, who would do kicking duties? Would be Manny Libok, I think.
Yeah.
Well, time for him to shine. Let's do it.
Okay. Change to the referee for tomorrow. Angus Gardner replaces Nika Mashukeli, who is ill and will take charge for the third test instead. Last night, South African Joel Stransky and New Zealand's Zinzan Brook were inducted into World Rugby's Hall of Fame. Currie Cup action tonight. You've got 2 games. The Lions are hosting the Stormers at Ellis Park at 5, and the Sharks are hosting the Bulls. While in cricket, the Proteas men playing Namibia at 2 p.m. today in the first match of a T20 series. They face Zimbabwe tomorrow. Over at Lords, England will be 248 for 9 going into day 2 of the second test with Pakistan. Football action, MTN 8 semi-final, second leg tomorrow. Orlando Pirates with a 1-goal lead hosting Skekone. Then on Sunday, Sundowns are travelling to Durban, needing to overturn a 1-goal deficit against Golden Arrows. Chelsea have signed goalkeeper Martinez from Aston Villa. The news came before their 2-0 win over Luton in the League Cup last night. Welbeck scoring on debut to set up a third-round match with Leeds. Fulham got a 3-0 win over Wimbledon. They'll play West Ham in the third round. And Tottenham Hotspur have signed striker Mamouche from Manchester City on loan. City are in Premier League action tonight. They're playing Crystal Palace. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
Thank you, Cindy. 7:45 is the time. Right, peak time delays. It's Friday morning. Everyone trying to get to the office nice and early so they can go home early.
Yeah, well, Ray, we've got delays on the M1 South between the Maclue Interchange and Marlborough Drive. There's also peak time pressure piling up along the N12 and the R24 West heading towards Bedford View. This is between Edenville Road and the Gilulis Interchange. Otherwise, if you're traveling on the Maokwan North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Oysens Road and the Car Street exit. We'll have more updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Planning for retirement doesn't have to be overwhelming. Time is running out. So join PPS on the 19th of September for its annual retirement summit, where you can hear from financial experts and thought leaders on building, growing, and protecting your wealth. Whether you're under 45 or over 45, there's a program for your life stage. Enjoy a meal, connect with professionals, and leave it with insights at only 150 Rand a person. Book now at pps.co.za/retirement summit. PPS, success is better shared, a clearer plan for your financial future. So PPS is a licensed life insurer, controlling company, and also authorized FSP.
It's a good thing you're naked at the mall. Because what if you're absolutely certain that you parked on level 3, but level 3 has no idea what you're talking about? With Naked, you can submit your car theft claim instantly on the app. Go to naked.insure now and get comprehensive car insurance at a lower premium. Because when bad things happen, it's a good thing you're naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. Are you ready to play Multiplay 2 from the 1st of September? I hope so. Multiplay 2. A new way to multiply your chances of winning the Powerball and the Lotto. Think about it like this. Multi is for multiple combinations. Play is for play more chances. And Game 2 is for 2 extra numbers. Now you can choose 8 numbers. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. It's your chance now to win a 2,000 Rand. We are looking for the question to our answer, and we had it from Clarity earlier on. She said, no more drama. That was the answer. So what then is the question? I said I would take the 5th caller, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jean in Greenpoint. Hi, Jean.
Yeah.
Yes, if I said to you the answer is no more drama, what then is the question? Jean? Jean, are you with us? Ah, we've lost Jean. All right, Jean's not there. Let's take another one there. All right, so let's go to Mike in Alberton. Hi, Mike.
Morning, Ray. How's it going?
Not too bad. If I said to you no more drama is the answer, what then is the question?
The question then is, what is the name of Mary J. Blige's 5th studio album that was released on this day in 2001?
Ah, sounds good. Now, do you have a quote with Outsurance yet?
I wish I could say yes, but I don't.
Are you going to promise me that by 9 o'clock this morning, by the time we end this breakfast show, that you are going to do a quote with Outsurance?
I can do that because I'm currently paying way too much.
Exactly, and that's why you have to phone them. Good. Well, you got 2,000 Rands in cash on its way to you. Nice one, Mike in Alberton. Absolutely. This day, 2001, R&B powerhouse Mary J. Blige released her 5th studio album called No More Drama.
No more drama in my life. No one's gonna make me hurt again. Why'd I play the fool? Go through ups and downs, knowing all the time you wouldn't be around. But maybe I like the stress, 'cause I was young and restless. But that was long ago. I don't wanna cry no more. No more pain, no more pain, no more. No more games messing with my mind. No more drama in my life. I don't ever wanna hurt again. Wanna speak my mind, wanna speak my mind. Let's get it crunk up on that fun up in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hateration, holleration in this dancery. Let's get it percolated while you're waiting, so just dance for me. Come on, everybody, get on now, 'cause you know we got to get it wrong. Mary J is in the spot tonight, and I'ma make you feel alright. Come on, baby, just party with me. Let loose and set your body free. Leave your situations at the door, so when you step inside, jump on the floor. Let's get it crunk up on in this dancery. We got y'all open, now you're floating, so you got to dance for me. Don't need no hate.
KG on the decks. That mix proudly brought to you by KG Start the Clock. More on Monday with Outsurance.
To save money, you look for the discounted items in store. So why not spend 10 minutes getting an Outsurance car insurance quote like 48-year-old Adam, who saves
1,803 Rand. Big drop. If you haven't had a valuation on your premiums for a while, it's worth going to Outsurance.
That's a jaw-dropping 1,803 Rand saving on Adam's 2020 Audi Q3. Do it now. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance saves 37-year-old Lerato 599 Rand on her 2026 Kia Sonet.
$5.99. Outsurance, they are the best.
And that's a fact. Did you know Outsurance had the lowest overturned ratio of complaints confirmed by the Ombudsman in their 2025 annual report? Ready for savings and excellent service? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Licensed insured FSP. TCs and information online.
Hi, this is Teko Modise, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Be a winner who knows when it's time for a timeout and play responsibly. If you or someone you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No person under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Uncertainty is rising, but your business still has to deliver. Production targets need to be met. And when your workforce is out of balance, the cost is immediate. Too many employees? Costs climb. Too few? Productivity drops. Workforce staffing helps businesses stay in control with flexible workforce solutions deployed within 48 hours nationwide. When demand changes, your workforce can change with it. Visit workforcestaffing.co.za. Stay productive, stay flexible, stay in control.
702 proudly presents the Dina Letty stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2026.
We're gonna have some fun. You guys ready?
This is Jazz Reignited.
Jazz.
Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
It's a good thing you're naked on a run. Because what if you're halfway through a self-help audiobook about letting go and your phone takes it literally? With Naked, you can submit your phone claim instantly on the app. Go to naked.insure now and get device insurance at a lower premium. Because when bad things happen, it's a good thing you're naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Bapelile Sambo. Now, Bapelile, you welcome. Good to have you here.
Thank you,
You're
Ray.
from
I
Kabazela.
thought you were going to ask me, how are you, Kabazela?
How are you? Oh, yeah. How are you on this Friday?
Well, we were joking there in the producer's booth that I might as well become Kabazela's sister. Like, I'll take that title.
Well, I was thinking about calling you Bapazela.
Babzela.
Is that too soon?
I hope it doesn't stick.
Babazela.
No, I think it's too soon. Oh, maybe we can leave it out to the 702 lenders to give me in case I do come back.
Bapelele Sambo.
Yes,
Is
Ray.
it Bapezela? Is it something else? I'd love to hear from you. Let's come up with a name because you're doing what's gone viral. And I
yes.
love what you're talking about. Mommy is fine. Go back to sleep.
Yes, Ray. So in this clip that is captured on a baby monitor, it shows mom putting her baby to sleep, which is something that all parents have to do. And just when it looks like mission is complete, baby is finally asleep, mom is suddenly faced with a new challenge. And you're going to ask yourself, what is this new challenge, Bapelile? So mom got inside the court trying to, get the baby to fall asleep with her. And now she has to get outside. And now she's faced with a new challenge of having to get out. Now you're asking yourself, but how did she get in the first place?
Yeah.
And just after a few unsuccessful attempts, mom is trying to get out. We can hear him in this clip, which KG is going to play for us. And let's just say that Gravity had other plans. And then she ends up falling outside this court. And now the baby is wide awake. And now she's back to square one. But before I ask you my question, KG, please do the things.
Just lay down, lay down, lay down. Mommy's just gonna... I don't know the best way to let this. I don't...
Lie down. I can bubble.
I know.
Don't lie down.
I'm okay.
Oh,
okay, lay down. No boo-boos.
So
Lay
the
down.
mom fell.
Nice.
Just off the floor. It wasn't such a
So she
bad
fell
fall.
down,
Yeah,
mommy,
she did,
trying
trying to get out of the
Yeah.
court after getting the baby to sleep. So we want to find out from 702 lenders, especially the parents, how do you actually get your baby to sleep? Do you have a trick that you have tried and tested and it works? I know, Ray, you've shared some stories that you...
Well, yeah, I mean, my little one, Chloe, when she was just a little baba, she would not let me sit down with her. I had to walk, but I had to do dinosaur steps. So what are dinosaur steps? When you take these big lunges forward, and it's the motion of being like a dinosaur that the child would fall asleep. But as soon as I sat down or put Chloe down, would wake up again and wanted the dinosaur steps. Another one is, and I know a lot of mommies do this, you take your child for a trip in the
drive?
car,
Yeah,
drive in
yeah.
the car, put them in the back, and they fall fast to sleep. So,
Yeah,
yes.
those are some of the tricks that we want, and hopefully we can help other parents to get their babies to sleep quicker. So I can't wait to hear from 702 lenders, and
Exactly.
that's my what's gone viral for this week.
I think is a brilliant one to Bapi Zela. Thank you so much. I want to know what we're going to call it. Bapi Lile Sambo, thank you so much. So yes, how do you get your little one to go to sleep? What trick do you have? Do you do dinosaur steps as well? Do you go in the car? Moms, what do you do? 072 702 1702.
702.
702. Feedback.
With Siamtanda Matiso.
Sure, Sia, you have been busy this morning.
It has been a busy morning, and that's especially after you posed that question, Ray. When is it acceptable for a leader or a boss to lose their temper? Because I mean, they are all human, and this was on the back of Johannesburg Mayor Tata Morero. There's a video circulating on social media where he was at the City Power in Bizo in Soweto, where he lost his temper after a resident called him corrupt. Now, some have been reacting to that, saying, listen, he should have remained composed and not resorted in swearing at the resident. Others said perhaps the accusation touched his nerve because he knows the allegations are not true. But some are saying even if that's the case, you shouldn't be losing your temper in that way as the leader. So lots of reactions to that. I can't wait to hear more on that. And also you asked, what's something cool your parents have surprised you or that you have surprised your child? So it so happens that many of the children are now listening to old music, like old school music, and that's because of TikTok. And they're finding the parents songs cool.
The 80s are cool again. Dad, have you heard this song?
Have you heard this song? It's like, no, I know the song, actually.
I grew up listening
to it. So it's always nice to hear when people react on that. And also Muteo asking that question, what was your first credit card? And this is on the back of Truwords actually having a tough set. Apparently their results when it comes to their financial year has declined. And many people have been talking about the fact of having a credit card when it comes to clothing because they realize they needed clothes every month. Others have talked about having credit for food, meaning like Ramaphosa's economy is having everyone on chokehold here, Ray, and also obviously a banking credit card because you want that loan for your car or house. So I can't wait to hear more reactions on that and on Babsi Kabazela. I don't know what's gone viral. Maybe they're going to give us pointers as we don't have kids. Maybe when we have kids, 702 Landers will give us advice on how to handle the whole situation.
There we go. Lots to talk about this morning. You know the WhatsApp number 072 702 1702. It's 8 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Alleged corrupt taxi boss Joe Sbanyoni is the next witness to face the Madlanga Commission, and there's still no news on the 6 South Africans who are missing in Nepal. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Controversial Mpumalanga taxi boss Joe Ferrari Sbanyoni is expected to appear at the Madlanga Commission today. Sbanyoni is a well-known person in the province where he owns a large fleet of taxis and has been linked to alleged criminals such as Vusmuzi Cat Matlala. Sbanyoni is facing criminal charges for allegedly extorting more than 2 million rand from another Mpumalanga businessman. At the same time, Matlala and suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi are today expected to appear in the Germiston Magistrates Court together. Mkhwanazi was arrested again yesterday along with an EMPD official. They are accused of being involved in unlawfully fitting blue emergency lights on Matlala's cars. Mkhwanazi is facing charges in 4 other cases, including the murder of businessman Emmanuel Mbenze in 2022. Matlala has been in prison since last year on attempted murder charges. Demakaso Leshoro takes a look.
The state is opposing Julius Mkhwanazi's bail application in the Emmanuel Mbenze murder case, and the new arrest could further complicate his bid for freedom. Legal expert Ian Ellis says the growing number of cases against Mkhwanazi could make it increasingly difficult for him to secure bail, particularly as the allegation appeared to follow a similar pattern of corruption and fraud. Mkhwanazi is already on bail on 3 other matters, and the latest case is his 5th set of criminal charges.
The problem is when it comes with this issue with Cat Matlala,
Because there's also been so much evidence presented at the Madlanga Commission, certain of it can be used in support of opposing bail.
The case against Mkhwanazi and his former colleagues, including Imogen Mashazi, Linda Xasheka, and Kemi Behari, is also expected to return to the Germiston Magistrates Court this morning. The state alleges the four worked together to block disciplinary action against Mkhwanazi after he allegedly fitted Vusimuzi Matlala's private vehicles with blue lights. Dimakatso Leshoro, Eyewitness News.
Pre-trial proceedings in Thabo Bester Prison's escape matter is expected to get underway in the Free State High Court today. The convicted murderer and rapist and his girlfriend Nandi Pamaku-Dumana, along with others, are facing charges relating to the 2022 brazen escape from the Mangaung Correctional Centre. The case has been repeatedly delayed by outstanding legal challenges. Mongezi Koko reports.
Thabo Bester was serving a life sentence for murder and rape when he allegedly escaped from prison in May 2022. Authorities say a body was used in a fire inside his cell to fake his death, giving way to the escape. He remained at large for nearly a year before he was caught with Nandi Pamaku-Dumana in Tanzania in 2023. Bester, Makudumana and several others now face charges including escaping from lawful custody, aiding and abetting an escape, corruption, arson, fraud and the violation of a body. But the case has yet to go on trial as a series of separate legal challenges have continued to stand in the way. Today's hearing is expected to focus on whether those outstanding matters have been dealt with and if the case is ready for trial. Bester and Makudumana are expected to appear virtually. Monkey Zikoko, Eyewitness News.
And China and Nepal have issued new flood warnings 2 days after floods and landslides that killed more than 400 people. More than 1,400 victims are missing after the catastrophic torrents swept away entire villages along the Nepal-Tibet's Himalayan border. The U.S. Geological Survey says the disaster was caused by a glacial collapse that triggered a vast flow of icy debris. 6 South Africans are among the missing. Aid relief group Gift of the Giver says it hopes the rescue efforts will yield positive results. Its founder Imtiaz Suleiman.
The situation hasn't changed much, but we now know the families of the 6 missing people. We have the pictures of all the 6 missing people. And we've got a South African contact who lives in Nepal. He's actually circulating the pictures of the South Africans in the local media.
And UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham is among world leaders who will be offering search and rescue support.
Yes, these are such distressing scenes coming out of Nepal, and we feel for the people there and everything that they're going through at this moment in time. Such devastation of communities and already, sadly it seems, such huge loss of life.
Gold is trading at $4,601.89 an ounce. The rand is at $15.99 to the dollar, $21.74 to the pound, $18.64 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $89.20 a barrel.
And in the traffic in Alexandra on the N3 North, there's been an accident right after Vincent Chabalala Road. The delays are as you come out of the Linksfield Road while traveling towards Sandton. We've got another accident on the M1 North. It happened right near Grayston Drive, causing delays.
And in your sport, the Proteas play Namibia in the first T20 of a tri-series starting today at 2 o'clock. Unconfirmed reports that Springbok fly half Andre Pollard's in doubt for tomorrow's second test with the All Blacks. And Joel Stransky has been inducted into World Rugby's Hall of Fame.
A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng. The temperatures will peak at highs between 22 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Controversial Mpumalanga taxi boss Joe Ferraris Banyoni is expected to appear at the Madlanga Commission today.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app. Your community, your concerns, your voice. Follow every moment of the local government elections on 702 Cape Talk and ewn.co.za.
This is 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa, brought to you by BCX. Built on trusted connectivity, powered by cloud, strengthened by security, enabled by AI.
702 on 92.7 and 106 FM.
Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
And on DSTV channel 856.
It's fast approaching 8 minutes past 8 o'clock. Ray in for Bongles this morning. Good to be in your company. It's been quite a show. If you've missed an interview, something we've been talking about, just go off to Prime Media Plus, look for 702 and you can hear it there. Well, in the past hour, talking about vaccines, well, the health department worried as parents are not vaccinating their children. I did ask the question though, and it's all about education. It's all about campaigns and telling moms and dads why you do need to vaccinate your children. So a few WhatsApps coming in about that one. Then Kabazelle is not here today, but Bapalele Sambo doing a really good job about talking about what's going viral and asking the question, what is your secret formula to getting your baby to sleep? And I'm not talking about the drink, the formula. I'm saying, how do you get your baby to go to sleep? Mateo, come on, you're a dad and you've had little ones. What was your secret formula?
I said it was my chest and Sia was laughing at me. But also another quick trick is to put them in the pram and just walking around for a bit in the garage or somewhere outside in the yard. That also used to work for us.
Did it work? Because sometimes you put them in that pram and they howl.
It's the motion.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the motion that used to work.
Okay. Ambo, you're a mom. Come on, tell us what's your secret weapon.
I mean, when they were smaller, I used to put them on my back and they would just fall asleep and do my activities in the house and they would fall asleep. And then when they got older, like right now, if they're battling to sleep, I just put them on my arms and I rock them as if I'm rocking like a toddler or a small baby and they fall asleep.
And it worked.
And it works. And sometimes it's just reading a book. If they are already in the bed but they are battling to sleep, it's reading a book and switching off the lights.
All right. Okay. Easy as that. 702 Land. What do you do? I used to do the whole dinosaur steps things with my daughter. You do these big lunges forward and you get into this rocking motion, which works like with a pram, and that seemed to work. So I'd like to know about that one. I asked you, what have you learnt about your parents? And thought, well, I didn't know that. And we started the conversation out, Dolly Parton passing away this week, and my kids getting into my record collection and saying, Dad, this is actually pretty good. So what have you learnt about your parents? It doesn't have to be music, but what have they kind of told you and you thought, well, I didn't know that as well. And then your crush. Who's your crush right now? Who have you had a crush on? Mateo Haripe, I'm going to put you on the spot. A crush.
I don't think I have one right now, Ray.
Well, I hope not. You're married, so hi, but officially.
But I think my teenager was probably Toni Braxton. You know, she was the ultimate 90s beauty of the time, and I really, really, really liked her. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. There we go. Amo, we spoke about yours earlier. So who's your crush? And then Dada Morero, he's got himself into a spot of bother. What he's basically done is he lost his temper at a meeting. They were talking about electricity. One of the people in the crowd said to him, "You corrupt!" And he just lost it, and he used all sorts of bad words. He went on and he apologized. But I have asked you this morning, if you're a leader, a politician, a boss, should you lose your temper? Should you? Let's take a call. Let's go to Monica. Hi, Monica, in Mapetla, Soweto. How are you?
Good morning to you and your listeners.
Good. Tell us about leaders. I mean, was he totally out of line?
I mean, Ray, I could have said to Dada Murawa that move on because the dog is barking at the tree. But unfortunately, I can't ascribe that. I can't ascribe that to Dada Murawa, the movement and the people that he represents. I mean, for the records and everybody, it's an open secret that there are so many things that has happened and people have their own perception.
Yeah.
But it is also up to Murewa to own. I mean, people cannot. It is up to Murewa to show his character, because you can't do anything when people damage your reputation. It is up to them as an organization to have that character, because right now they are in the process of saying they made the mistake, when we know, some of us very well, that that was not a mistake. It was a decision that was made. They were calculating about it and planning to do what they've been doing. So we know that it's not it's not a mistake. So it is up to them
Yeah.
to show character, because the perception they just cannot change.
I get
this
you.
is what the people see.
I get you, Monica. Thank you so much. Monica calling from Mapetla, Soweto. This is the thing, and I think people are so angry with the ANC in Johannesburg, with the local council in Johannesburg, that if something like this plays out, are you corrupt? Now, he's not facing corruption charges. We need to be very clear about this and not to conflate the two between a lack of service delivery and corruption, because he's not facing corruption charges, but people are so angry about this. And I think I heard Bongani speak about it this week, and so did you. It's time for the ANC to announce their candidates. You cannot wait for after the election. We need to know who we are voting or not voting for, and perhaps when that happens, things will be a lot clearer. At the moment, it's very, very messy.
Hi, Ray. Why respond back when you know that you're not corrupt? So why was he ticked off? Because he's not corrupt. Yeah. So, and by the way, you can actually be corrupt even if you do not. There's no charges against you. So, yeah, and probably it's been said in that context. But where's the money? Where's the money for electricity? And we know that the money has been disappearing in the municipality account through corrupt means. So, and he's presiding over that municipality. So, yeah, we must take it on the chin.
Take it on the chin, yeah, but there are no charges against him. If he is having a bit of a conscience attack and he thinks that there is, well, that's something. One thing I do know, and I think you do as well, that if whoever takes over, if the ANC is not successful in the city of Joburg come this November 4 election, whoever takes over, I would think that there is going to be an investigation into many things, from city power to other entities as well. The whole water tanker saga, that also needs to be investigated. And let's see where that falls. But up to now, there's nothing. But to say that, I can understand why he got so angry, because I think he gets it every single day.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
Good morning, Ray, and our new Kabazela. So for my daughter, and she's 19 months, and for the last, I think since she was 6 months, she can only sleep when she pinches my hand, like continuously. So she'll pinch and pinch and pinch and pinch. And then after some time, maybe 10 minutes or so, then she'll fall asleep. It's very painful now that she's growing older. And I always have to make sure that her nails are cut as low as possible so that, it doesn't hurt me. But yeah, she has to pinch me to fall asleep. Secha from Centurion.
Morning. Okay, two songs put my daughter to sleep. One was Louis Armstrong, What a Wonderful World, and the other was Deep Forest. Have a great day.
So I have a 3-year-old girl. She's the only one amongst 3 boys. She doesn't sleep during the day. So she, whenever around 6 to 7 o'clock, that's when she feels sleepy, but she always fights it. So what I do, I usually go into the bedroom. I make sure that the bedroom is dark. I switch off the lights. She's afraid of darkness. Within 5 minutes, she's asleep. Yeah, that's my trick.
Talking about ways to get your bubbas, your little ones, to go to sleep, because it can be quite tricky sometimes. I mean, I remember with my daughter, I would eventually get her to sleep. I would put her down, and then she's snoring, and then I would lie next to her just to make sure, because she would always want to see daddy's there. And as soon as she was asleep, I'd creep off to the main bedroom and I'd go to sleep. I promise you, 10 minutes later, this little face is in my face saying, "Why did you leave me, Daddy?" Hey, I could never win.
Good morning, team. My daughter is 8 years old. So we restricted her, what do you call this, her tablet. She uses YouTube Kid, I think it's YouTube Kid or YouTube Junior, things like that. And last she was asking me about Michael Jackson. Like, Dad, do you listen to Michael Jackson? I said, yes, I know Michael Jackson songs. She says, do you know Beat It? said, yeah, I know Beret. He said, that's my favorite song. And I think it was 2 days back. So she's a pianist as well. She goes to piano classes. I found her watching some YouTube video on piano tutorial teaching her how to play baritone piano.
I love that, love that. Talking this morning of about what have your children discovered about you? Have they gone through perhaps your music? Have they gone through your closet and they found your old military uniform or something like that? Love to hear your story. 072 702 1702.
EWN Traffic.
18 minutes past 8 o'clock. This EWN Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Right. Park more delays there.
Yes, Ray, that's along the Santon Drive as well as Winnie Mandela Drive. A major accident reported at that intersection. There's also queuing traffic on the N3 North due to an accident in the Alexandra area. It happened right after Vincent Chabalala Road. Delays coming out of Modderfontein Road while heading towards the Joburg CBD. Queuing traffic between Xavier Street and the double-decker section. About a 20-minute hold up there. Please approach with care. If you're traveling in the city of Tshwane, there's still moving traffic along the Old Johannesburg Road right as you approach Lenchen Avenue. An accident after the N14 is causing these delays. I'll have more updates coming up.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
The Outsurance Pointsman can't help you pick the perfect Women's Day gift for your partner, but they can get the traffic flowing smoothly so you arrive on time for date night. The Outsurance Pointsmen are real heroes in green and purple, easing traffic congestion and making our lives easier for almost 21 years. Just another way you always get something out in proud partnership with 702. Show them some love online using hashtag PointsmenLove. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Calling all wedding planners and venues, restaurants, conference centers, and hotels. Do you need tables and chairs? Home in One has it all. Do you need cutlery, crockery, table linen, and restaurant equipment? Home in One has it all. Do you need tents, gazebos, or umbrellas? Home in One has it all. Affordable prices, the latest trends, with 2 branches in Pretoria and Johannesburg. Shop online at homein1.co.za because we're your #1 choice. Home in One has it all.
Hey guys, this is Robert Marawa, Hollywood Bet's brand ambassador. Playing responsibly is part of the winning strategy. Make smart choices and continue to score. If you or someone that you know needs help, call the South African Responsible Gambling Toll-Free Counseling Line on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp help to 076 675 0710. Hollywood Sportsbook is a licensed betting operator. Hollywood Bet supports responsible gambling. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. Winners know when to stop.
Head to Dis-Chem for great value on everything you need. Look out for the yellow label to enjoy bulk savings on Better Rewards brands. Swipe your Better Rewards card to get 2+1 cheapest free and an extra 10% off lifestyle food, 150 grams and 300 grams dried mango. Plus, get 2+1 cheapest free and an extra 10% off any Centrum multivitamin products. Valid until 13 September at Dis-Chem. Better health starts here.
Everyone has their first, that life-changing moment when the music spoke to your soul and you both listened. With global icons Kamasi Washington, Angelique Kidjo, Themba Mkhize and Africa Mkhize, Ibrahim Malouf, Flowetree, Manana, Internet Ati, and over 40 world-class acts. This is Jazz Reignited, the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, 25th and 26th September. Buy your weekend pass now via Ticketmaster.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Good morning, Adam. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday morning, Ray.
Yep. All right. Nepal's ongoing disaster. This is a shocking story. I mean, well over 1,000 people still missing.
Yeah, the official figures are getting worse all the time. The death toll has gone up just in the last few minutes. 475 people confirmed dead.
Oh, Adam, have we lost you? Let's see if we can get Adam back. lost Adam Gilchrist there. Yeah, Nepal's ongoing disaster, and I'm sure you've seen the footage on social media with that AP and that kind of thing. And you see these people, there's a horrible one, people in a bus, okay? They're in a bus, and you can see them looking outside of the bus, and all of a sudden this wall of mud comes, and that's it. Right, Adam, are you back with us?
I hope so. I should be here, somewhere
Lovely.
over on the corner. Good. Yeah, just saying the death toll's up to 475, but as you say, an awful lot of people missing, although I guess missing always sounds so brutal. Maybe we should say unaccounted for. It's pushing 1,400 on both the Nepalese and Tibetan side of the border, where essentially this surge of water and mud hit. We know that the Chinese authorities have suspended search and rescue because they're worried about a second disaster. So what's happened is this glacier came down, suddenly plunged into the valley. That created this almost tsunami-like experience. But now a new lake has been formed as a result of this glacier coming down, and they're very worried this new lake could effectively burst its banks and create a second flash flood. So there's not a lot they can do to stop it, but they're trying to mitigate and get people out of the way, and perhaps and certainly not have rescue workers in the way. But at this stage, it's the number of missing, 1,400 / unaccounted for, which is so worrying. But of course, we know there are all sorts of nationalities there, although it's still monsoon season. Nonetheless, pilgrims and trekkers and climbers all head to that part of the world, and there are an awful lot of people there who will simply not be able to phone home because the communication towers are down, or because the room they were staying in has been washed away, or whatever. But at this stage, the numbers are not good.
Yeah, shocking. Also, some South Africans missing there as well.
Yes.
Adam, malaria mosquitoes in Germany. How has this happened?
Yeah, we know that mosquitoes have spread. They have a habit of doing that, and particularly heading further south from the normal sort of tropic malaria areas. But here we have 2 Germans working at Frankfurt Airport dying of malaria after what they think is absolutely a rare outbreak of malaria carried by mosquitoes from they don't yet know where. 6 airport employees in all contracted the infection. It is believed the mosquitoes arrived on a plane. They hitched a ride somehow. Whether it's one mosquito and all 6 were infected by the same one, or whether it's multiple mosquitoes, they're obviously examining the blood samples of all 6, including the 2 dead, to see if that's the case. They're also now trying to analyze where these mosquitoes could have come from, the origins, the species, etc. And they've now put out traps at Frankfurt Airport. I always thought the best trap for a mosquito was a book, a small book, because you can slam them between the pages.
Yeah.
That was my technique. I imagine they've got something a little bit fancier and a bit more complicated.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, but Mozzie's hitching a ride. Now, that's a new one. And then a coolcation. Exactly, a coolcation. Are you going to be taking a coolcation because you've had a drought and a heat wave?
We have, absolutely. Although you always have to be careful what you wish for, because inevitably we've got a bank holiday Monday here, a public holiday on Monday. And so for a classic August bank holiday, it's gone a bit cool and a bit rainy because it does that. But you can't just wait all summer. So what we're seeing is that a lot of people, I mean, across Europe especially, have been deciding to have their holidays in the cooler climes. So head north. Denmark, Finland, Iceland, Ireland, Norway, Sweden, and Scotland in particular, northern parts of the UK, have all outperformed all other European sub-regions. People basically put their holidays into cooler destinations up by 10%. Also, the number of people investigating cooler holidays on trip.com went up by 74%. So a lot of people going, do you know, I might just head somewhere where there's a nice breeze and where it's not 35, 40 degrees. And we've obviously seen an awful lot of that across Europe. The only thing is these numbers, Ray, refer to April to June, kind of pretty much before the heat wave. So was this people second guessing or having incredible inside knowledge? I can only think that the numbers from June onwards will have gone through the roof because, frankly, even my wife, who loves the heat, was talking about going somewhere cool to cool off.
The Gilchrist going on a coolcation. Adam, have a lovely weekend.
EWN Business.
Right, Mateo, wrapping up the business news for this morning. About 23 million South Africans live below the lower bound poverty line. That's concerning.
Yeah, stats are saying around 23.2 million South Africans, or 38% of the population, live below the lower bound poverty line. The thresholds are determined using the cost of basic needs and are adjusted each year for inflation. They're based on the cost of food as well as essentials such as housing, clothing, healthcare, transport, and education. Now, according to the latest data, someone living on less than 2,962 Rand per month in 2026 is officially below the upper bound poverty line. In May of 2023, the upper bound poverty line was 2,635 Rand. Now, the middle threshold of that lower bound poverty line stands at 1,457 Rand per person per month this year. Those living on less than 868 Rand a month per person face what stats say classifies as extreme or food poverty.
Wow. All right, OUTsurance, you always get something out. Well, they do too, expecting overall earnings to increase, reaching about 4.9 billion Rand.
Yeah, great set of results. OUTsurance saw a strong jump in earnings, helped by better performances from its South African insurance business. The group expecting overall earnings to increase by between 18 and 24%, reaching 4.9 billion Rand. Its South African operations, the biggest driver of those results, with earnings forecast to reach 46% to 2.9 billion Rand. The South African business paid out fewer claims and also kept the overheads in check. However, in Australia, the insurer Youi had a tougher year due to losses from natural disasters. Its earnings are expected to fall by between 4 and 10%.
Right, how are the markets on the Rand?
Weaker day for the JSE on Thursday, quite flat with the all share down 7 points. Industrials was stronger on the day, up 0.5%, but it was the banking and mining stocks that dragged down the local JSE. Harmony down 4.9%, Truworths was down 4% on a trading update, Discovery down 2%, Capitec down 1.5%, with Standard Bank down 1%. OUTsurance enjoying gains, up 9% after those results. Pick and Pay up 4%, Santam was up 3.7%, with Tungela up 2.4%. The Rand at this hour, exactly 16 Rand against the US dollar, 18 Rand 63 against the euro, 21 Rand 75 cents against the British pound. Price of gold is lower by 0.5% at $4,580 an ounce, while platinum has gained a little bit at $1,858. Brent crude at $88.16 a barrel. I'll give you more business later this afternoon.
Thank you, Mateo. Well, coming up in about 20 minutes from now, talking about the Festival of Motoring and giving away double tickets for that. That's this weekend. So, Professor Zulu, what's leading your news bulletin?
Well, very good morning. The ANC is in hot water with the Independent Electoral Commission over 15 million Rand in donations that have not been declared correctly. The party was omitted from the latest IEC report on political funding because of the non-compliance disclosures, with the Commission only recognizing 4 parties as having complied. The DA has raked in the highest donations between April and June this year in the amounts of 104 million Rand of the total of 117 million Rand registered during this period. Lindsay Dentlinker has more.
The IEC says it's identified many compliance issues relating to donations made to the ANC. It says while it received submissions from both the party and its donors, they did not meet the requirements of the Political Funding Act and the disclosure framework. Among the deficiencies identified include the failure to submit the required dual disclosure, failure by either the donor or the recipient to submit the required declaration, no proof being provided of the transaction, the lack of supporting documentation, and the late reporting of donations. Most of the non-compliant donations came from the Bato Trust, the ANC's main donor. The IEC's latest funding report also notes that the party has also been late to declare donations worth 40 million Rand made in the previous financial year, mostly from the Bato Trust. Due to the non-compliance issues, the IEC says it's decided to exclude the transactions from the tabulated total of compliant donations, but this does not mean that the donations themselves are unlawful. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News.
Please note the following story contains graphic details. Post-mortem details of a businessman have been read into the record during the bail hearing of suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and 5 co-accused. The group is facing charges in connection with the alleged killing of businessman Emmanuel Mbenze in 2022. During the cross-examination of IPID investigator Nomsa Masuku yesterday, the defense read from the post-mortem report, which records the cause of death as a head injury due to blunt force trauma. Dimakatsole Shuru reports.
The report describes multiple injuries to Mbenze's forehead and face and states that his body had been submerged in water for between 12 and 24 hours. The defense argued that the only external injuries recorded were to Mbenze's head and face, despite allegations that he was assaulted and tortured for around 5 hours. But investigating officer Nomsa Masuku refused to concede that there were no other injuries, saying a pathologist would have to testify on the findings. The defense also pointed to findings of bleeding on Mbenze's brain and extensive internal bleeding on both lungs. Mkhwanazi, Siyanse van Rensburg, Begokwake Sibande, Kesha Stalls, Adrian McKenzie and Yuan Marie Extien have all been charged with the murder but have denied killing Mbenze. One suspect linked to the murder, Zander Fritz, is understood to be on the run in the US. He's also expected to soon be added to the group of 6. Dimakatsole Shoro, Eyewitness News.
UCT students have been promised that their concerns will be raised in Parliament today. There are anxieties about NSFAS accommodation funding and the high unregulated costs of accommodation. About 600 students yesterday submitted a memorandum at the National Legislature. EFF MP Sihle Lonzi accepted it.
We are going to give you feedback. First thing tomorrow in the colloquium, we are going to raise this issue sharply and each and every time we meet with the Committee on Parliament.
A lawyer representing a UK fugitive accused of murdering his wife and 2 daughters has refused to say whether his client admits or denies the killings. Crispin Machungura is representing Dotana Chuma, who is wanted in the UK on 3 murder charges after his wife and children were found dead at their home in Bedfordshire. Chuma fled the country days before the bodies were discovered. He appeared briefly in the Johannesburg Magistrates Court yesterday, where he was remanded in custody. Nkosi Malingam Nisi was there.
Ndotana Chuma appeared in court for extradition proceedings and a separate firearm-related charge. He was allegedly found in possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition when he was arrested in July. The defense has confirmed negotiations are underway with the state over a possible plea deal in the firearm case. But Chuma's lawyer Crispin Machingura would not be drawn on whether his client intends to admit or deny the 3 murder charges in the UK.
Does he deny that he killed his family? It can only be determined by the court.
Does he deny that he killed his family?
It can only be determined by the court, not myself. Bye-bye, guys.
Both matters have been postponed to the 8th of September. The state says it has completed its investigations and received a full extradition request from UK authorities. Or see Kona Malingamnisi, Eyewitness News.
And Nepal has issued a warning for people to go to safe locations after a dam upstream in Tibet was reported to have burst 2 days after a glacial collapse caused deadly flooding. All security personnel, rescue workers and the general public have been deployed in rescue and relief operations are being requested to remain alert. Authorities say the death toll from Wednesday's mudslide has now risen to 469. 6 South Africans are among the many people who are still missing after the floods and landslides. A partly cloudy Friday in store for Gauteng today. The temperatures will peak at highs between 22 and 24 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the N3 North between Modderfontein Road and Marlborough Drive due to an accident in the Alexandra area. There's also queuing traffic reported on the N12 West approaching Craft Road. That's due to another accident.
The top story this hour, the ANC is in hot water with the IEC over 15 million rand in donations that have not been declared correctly.
702 proudly presents the Dina Letty stage at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz 2026.
We're gonna have some fun. You guys ready?
This is Jazz Reignited.
Jazz.
Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
You're a homeowner, but your house owns you. Home ownership should be about more than owning a home. The team at SA Home Loans believes that you should own the life you want. So switch today for a better deal. The passionate specialists at SA Home Loans are ready to make it happen. To find out more, visit sahomeloans.com or call 0860 246 810. It's time to start owning the life you want. So SA Home Loans is a registered credit provider, and T's and C's apply.
This advert is paid for by the political party concerned.
Ish, I love my hometown, but for too long now, I look around and think we deserve better than this. The water goes off for days, the streets are falling apart, and things never get fixed. Look, I'm not asking for anything fancy. I just want basics to work. And I know they can work because I've seen it where the Democratic Alliance is in charge. I want our town to work for all. So in this election, I'm voting DA.
This advert was paid for by the political party concerned.
Running a small business means every rand counts. Thanks to My Way Business Insurance, I save up to 20% on my insurance premiums every month for my buckies and tools of trade. Now, I get to save some extra cash for my business and focus on giving my clients world-class service.
Switch to My Way Business Insurance and save up to 20% on your buckies and tools of trade. Real businesses, real savings. Call us on 0860 646464 for a quote today. My Way is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. Standard rates and T's and C's apply.
You're listening to 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa. Brought to you by BCX. Technology that helps organizations move forward.
Morning, Ray. You say that people are not vaccinating their children. I think that a big reason for it was the COVID-19 vaccination, so-called vaccinations, which have caused massive vaccination injuries, spike protein issues. There are even medications coming onto the market now to counter that. So I think that there's been a lot of trust that's been lost in the pharmaceutical industry with respect to vaccinations. And there's also a general view that they're in it for profit. The more vaccinations they can push, the more profit they make. It's not really about what's required. It's about big business. There's a bit of a trust deficit.
Good morning, team. Good morning, 702 Land. This is Bulan from the VAR. Ray, with regards to this immunization and vaccine issue, I think the onus is on the parents, really. My daughter is turning 2, and I've been taking her to the public clinic ever since she was born, and she's super healthy. From 3 months, 6 months vaccine to 1 year, to getting her deworming medication, everything is according to plan. And to Amanda's point with regards to education, we are technologically savvy now. I think the onus is on parents, especially mothers, to be able to do their own research, what is what with regards to this vaccine, because I know the effects of polio. I have a friend who had polio. Unfortunately, they passed. So it is our responsibility to vaccinate our kids. Thank you.
Good morning, Ray. With the issue of non-immunization, I don't know if we should look at it as a broader issue that kids are not being immunized. But if you can look at it, let's say the unemployment rate is high, the young girls and boys are at home, there's drunkenness, alcohol, dacha, and all that. The very young women are not even going for contraception, and kids are suffering because there is no immunization. So I think the issue is broader than, the problem is the eye.
Hi, Ray. I think from my side, I think some of these parents are becoming very complacent. As much as maybe more education needs to be done at the clinics, I think a lot of the public clinics are doing a lot of campaigns on vaccinations, and people also do have communities where they come from, where they are told either by their parents, by their grandparents, about the importance of getting vaccinations for their children. But some of these parents become very complacent, if we're being honest. We can't always blame the government or government employees for not doing their job when people do not actually follow what they're being told at the clinics.
Complacency is a problem. It's a major, major problem. But I'll say in my day, if I can say that in my day, we all got vaccinated. We all got put into the car. We went and got vaccinated. And this was the thing, and we didn't get sick. And a lot of people say, yeah, but vaccinations and questions. Well, we didn't get sick. And I suppose sometimes the proof of the pudding is in the eating. So if you haven't vaccinated your child, go and vaccinate your child, because we have things like polio that could come back. We've got measles. We've got all sorts of things that could, you have this herd immunity. And if we don't have herd immunity, which means all of us get together and have the same thing, then these diseases, these viruses start to manifest and start to grow. All of a sudden, we've got a social problem that's way bigger than just complacency.
EWN Sports.
Cindy Paluta, now it's rugby break. What about the cricket?
Yeah, there's some cricket today. The Proteas men in action. They're in Windhoek for a T20 tri-series. It starts today against Namibia at 2 o'clock. They'll play Zimbabwe tomorrow as well. Proteas team includes some newcomers. Here's captain for the tour, Bjorn Fortuin.
With regards to the next generation and the squad that we've got here, it's a fairly inexperienced squad, but really talented, and they've all done some special things around the world. So hopefully I can just impart some knowledge to them and let their natural game flow.
At Lords, England will be 248 for 9 going into day to the second set with Pakistan. Abaz took 4 wickets. The All Blacks have called up Simon Parker and George Bauer for Josh Lord and Ethan de Groot, who are both out after clashing heads. On the wing, Leroy Carter starts ahead of Josh Murby. Here's Carter.
Yeah, I guess the exciting thing about having so many good outside backs in the squad is our trainings. We're going head to head every Tuesday, Thursday, but we're also helping each other grow. So after trainings, we're always doing work-ons together and stuff like that. And then when you get your turn, you just got to do your best, and that's what it takes. And then, yeah, so it's exciting.
All Blacks coach Dave Rennie is ready for the Springboks to fight back.
They'll be really disappointed with last weekend, and there's obviously been a lot of talk around how they bounced back last year. But we've talked a lot about us being better. We think we can be a lot better than we were last weekend, and so that's the key. We've got to be able to lift our level. We know they're going to be better, but we don't want to focus totally on what South Africa are going to bring. We want to focus on what we can bring.
Last night, South African Joel Stransky and New Zealand's Zinzan Brook were inducted into World Rugby's Hall of Fame. Last, the Currie Cup League matches this weekend. Today's 2 games. The Lions are hosting the Stormers at 5, followed by the Sharks against the Bulls. Semi-final spots are up to play for. MTN 8, semi-final second leg tomorrow. Pirates have a 1-goal lead. They're hosting Skakone. While on Sunday, Sundowns are travelling to Durban, needing to overturn a 1-goal deficit against Golden Arrows. Manchester City are on Premier League action tonight. They're playing Crystal Palace. Overnight, City have loaned striker Mamush to Spurs. Last night in the League Cup, Chelsea beat Luton 2-0 with a goal from Danny Welbeck on debut, and Fulham got a 3-0 win over Wimbledon. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Mama Million here, and yes, I am a millionaire. Are you ready to play Multiplay 2 from the 1st of September? I hope so. Multiplay 2, a new way to multiply your chances of winning the Powerball and the Lotto. Think about it like this. Multi is for multiple combinations. Play is for play more chances. And 2 is for 2 extra numbers. Now you can choose 8 numbers. The National Lottery. More plays, more chances, more millions. Players must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The National Lottery is officially operated by Sizakai.
Need a last-minute gift? Checker 6060 will bring the toy aisle to you. Hot Wheels bands and Lego trends. Let's go 6060. Marvel minis and other figurines. Let's go 6060. All the Barbies and the plushies. Let's go 6060. Fisher Price and all things nice. Let's go 6060. Whatever they love, whatever their age, Checker 6060 will deliver today. Let's go 6060.
So the other day I get this call from an insurance company. They asked if they could quote me. I said, quote me? I can't remember what I said. But if you're still thinking about it, it must have been pretty good. Mom always said I have a way with words. They just put down the phone. I don't get it.
Don't get that insurance. Get Pineapple. It's easy to get and online. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP. T's and C's apply.
Right, so this very weekend, the Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, will bring the energy, excitement, and adrenaline of motoring to life at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. The Festival of Motoring, it puts you at the heart of the action, from exhilarating track experiences, also performance cars, to 4x4 adventures, handling experiences, and the sights and sounds, of course, of Kyalami. This is something you experience, not just something you watch. So whether you're a serious petrol head looking for your next car, chasing an adrenaline rush, or simply looking for an exciting day out, the Festival of Motoring brings cars, experiences, entertainment, food, and the motoring community together in one place for 3 glorious days of motoring energy and entertainment. The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, at the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit this weekend. Get your tickets now on Howler. Don't just hear about it, be there, of course, in partnership with 702. And visitors can experience the Grand Prix circuit, get into the passenger seat for exhilarating track experiences, experience the dedicated 4x4 course, that's going to be fun, and test drive vehicles on the handling track. So what we're going to do, we got double tickets to give away. What I'd like you to do is WhatsApp the following answer, or the question. I'll give to you then the answer to 072 702 1702. We'll take the 10th WhatsApp. If you get it right, I'll give you the question now. If you get it right, we'll give you those double tickets. So 072 702 1702. My question for you is, what does a car's VIN stand for? VIN. What does a car's VIN stand for? Right, up for grabs, double tickets, 072 702 1702.
EWN Traffic.
12 minutes to 9 o'clock. How are the roads? We've had 1 or 2 crashes today, all sorts of peak time delays. What are you seeing?
Well, Ray, speaking of accidents, we still have got one along the N12 east-west, rather. It happened after Craft Road, is causing delays. There's also queuing traffic on the M2 West between Hardenburg Road and the Crown Interchange. Peak time delays there, as well as on the Mark 1 North between Boyson's Road and the double-decker section. So heading towards the Joburg CBD, do anticipate about a 20-minute hold-up there. We'll have more updates at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Joy of Jazz. The Standard Bank Joy of Jazz returns on September 25 and 26.
Thank you so much.
Join 702 at the Dina Lady stage. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.
The Festival of Motoring, powered by Westbank, returns to the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from 28th to 30 August. Experience thrilling track drives, supercars, drifting, 4x4 adventures, and the very latest in automotive innovation. Book your tickets now on Howler. The Festival of Motoring, where legacy meets innovation.
Another action-packed rugby weekend means another Bok Friday sale from FlySafair. That's right, we're back with another winning deal to get the gears going and the fans moving. Starting from 10 a.m. today, for 80 minutes only, all domestic flights to and from Cape Town will be 30% off for travel until 30 November 2026. Get to flysafair.co.za, score unbeatable savings, and fly like a champ. FlySafair, trusted domestic carrier of the Springboks. T's and C's apply.
It's a good thing you're naked while reversing out the driveway, because what if that sound you hoped was part of the song definitely wasn't? With Naked, you can submit your accident claim instantly on the app. Go to naked.insure now and get comprehensive car insurance at a lower premium, because when bad things happen, it's a good thing you're naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
Remember the first time your soul felt alive? That feeling is calling you back. Come to where your soul gets reborn through music at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz, featuring global icons such as Kamasi Washington, Ibrahim Malouf, and the trumpets of Michale Anje. Also, Angelique Kidjo's there, Nubuye Garcia, Flowtree, Temba, Africa, Mkhize, Judith Sapuma, fantastic. Mokoe Mkhubata, Manana Tandiswa, Mazwai sings, Hugh Masekela as well. Plus over 40 world-class acts. 4 iconic stages, 1 unforgettable experience at the Sandton Convention Centre. This Women's Month, gather your circle and join us at the Standard Bank Joy of Jazz Festival this September. Enjoy 10% off when you book 10 festival tickets. This is Jazz Reignited. Get your weekend pass for the 25th to the 26th of September now via Ticketmaster.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Tabo Sholi Mashau. Now, I said earlier on, why am I the only person today wearing a Springbok rugby jersey?
Yeah, I tried to save you, but I was already on the road. I had already left home. I would have, otherwise, had I had you at home, I would have just donned my wonderful Springbok shirt. But it was too late.
Alas, here we are.
And here we are. But I was hoping you'd ask me what you asked your listeners. Your crush.
Yeah, who's your
crush?
Yeah?
Gosh. Tony Braxton. My goodness me. I wouldn't mind her to be Tony Shola Mashau.
Really?
Tony Braxton.
Okay.
Yeah, and also the UK singer. I think what is her name? No man. Now her name escapes me. But Tony Braxton would definitely be my crush. And locally, there's a lady called Nakedi Ribani. Oh my goodness me. She used to be called Sintao Lele in one of the sitcoms back in the 80s. She's still hot.
I'll get my people to talk to
Please
her
do.
people.
Please,
We'll
Ray.
See
You
what
owe
we
me
can
one.
do for you.
Yeah.
I do. What you got coming up today?
Well, what are you getting from a private school if your child goes there? Honestly, what are you buying? Because it can be quality of education, because some of the brightest learners from our schooling system come from rural areas, from township schools. So what are you getting exactly? That's a question that we'll ask our listeners on the open line. Of course, Dada Morero, as we've already touched on him, we'll touch on that a little bit. At 10 o'clock, it's across the desk. We're looking at how we can build better urban spaces and revitalize struggling towns and cities. At 11, it's relationship focus, and we'll be speaking to Lee Joy, a relationship coach, on whether relationships as we know them are on a decline. All of that between 9 and 12.
Well, that doesn't sound good whatsoever. Right. Getting some relationship advice, also maybe even talking crushes. You never know. That's Tabo Sholi Mashau. He'll be on between 9 and 12 in for Clements Manyatela. Right, let's see if we've got a winner for our competition. It's the Festival of Motoring. It's on at Kyalami Racetrack. That's this weekend. Yeah, there we go. Start them engines, KG. Give us a bit of a rev. All right, so what does a car's VIN number stand for? What's a VIN? What's a VIN? Let's see if we can give away some double tickets. Mark in Joburg. Hi, Mark.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, good morning. Okay, what does VIN stand for?
A vehicle identification number.
Yeah, it's easy. It's really easy. There we go. Mark, you are going to the Festival of Motoring this weekend. Congratulations. Indeed, it does. Oh, I like that sound. If you go down to the Festival of Motoring, you'll hear those sounds where they rev their engines. You can use our 4x4 track and all sorts of things. And the nice thing about Kyalami, of course, if you go round and round and round, I mean, you can really open up. And a lot of people will be saying to you, they've done this before, so get on down there. That's this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Your neighborhood, your street, your home. Your local government election coverage lives on 702 Cape Talk and EWN.co.za. Download the EWN app.
At Crawford International, confidence is built every day. We're encouraged to find our voice, think independently, and lead with courage, integrity, and compassion. In the classroom, on the sports field, and beyond, we learn to step forward, embrace opportunity, and make a meaningful difference. Book your personalized tour and experience Crawford International for yourself. Crawford International, building global leaders.
Do you ever call you like to sell? But don't trust your uncle or your pal. Then we buy cars, it's just for you. Buying cars is what we do. We offer service with a smile. We always go the extra mile. Use a place that you trust and sell your car to us.
We Buy Cars, the easiest way to sell your car by far. You'll drive 20 extra minutes, walk past 3 competitors, ignore every special sign just to get to your place, your bakery, your bookshop, your car wash, your family restaurant. Because loyalty doesn't always choose the closest, it chooses the best. Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Rewarding the local businesses and entrepreneurs that have earned that place in your life. The businesses that deliver every time and keep you coming back for more. Go to primemediaplus.com now to view the awards categories and nominate the business that's earned your loyalty. Because if they're worth the drive, they're worth the nomination. Gauteng's Greatest Awards with 702, powered by Yoko. Less admin, more time for what you love. Yoko, let's grow on 702 and primemediaplus.com.
Join us.
Let's walk the talk.
This is 702.
So congratulations to Mark winning those double tickets. Nice one. The Festival of Motoring, that's this weekend. And joining us to discuss this is the Festival of Motoring show director, Judy Maharaj. Judy, hi. Good to have you on Breakfast. All sorts of excitement ahead of this weekend. What should we expect? What's coming at us?
Hi, Ray. Good morning to the listeners and to you. Thank you for having me. Yes, the show has kicked off this morning, Festival of Motoring, the 9th edition, and we have 24 automotive brands ready, 60 pit doors that open up onto the racetrack where the visitor can get into the vehicle and around the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit.
So like very fast, like 100, 200 Ks an hour acceleration. I mean, this is quite something. But it's not only about that. There are food stalls there. There's a whole experience, isn't there?
Absolutely. The circuit has been curated into 4 color-coded zones. In the green zone, we have the drives that happen on the Kyalami Grand Prix circuit. Then we have the yellow zone, an adventure zone. We've got drifting, karting, and we've got activations from the brands. Then we have the red zone, which is a self-handling track where the visitor gets into the vehicle and can drive the vehicle on a 1.2 kilometer track. And then we have the 4x4 zone where the visitor can get into the vehicle and be driven by a professional instructor on a challenging 4x4 course. And in addition, we've got the Puma Energy Zone where they've created a fun activity zone for the general access ticket holder where the parents can enjoy the show while the children have a fun time. And we've got premium hospitality and we've got bike shows, and then the Puma Energy Flying Lions. There's a air show that's going on at 10 o'clock this morning.
Wow.
And every day.
It just shows what we can do at Kyalami. Now, you can get tickets, I would think, on Howler. Tickets are still available.
Correct. We are almost, we sold out, almost sold out for Saturday. Premium hospitality is sold out. There are tickets still available for Sunday, but otherwise tickets, you still can get tickets and it's available on Howler.
Sure, there we go. Judy, thank you so much. Judy Maharaj is the Festival of Motoring show director. So if you're wondering what you want to do this weekend, well, it's easy. Get on down and do a little bit of motoring. It's going to be lots of fun.
702.
More than a radio station.
Let's walk the talk.
Right, and 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa was brought to you by BC X-Ray, standing in, connecting cloud, telecom business connectivity, AI, and more to help organizations reduce complexity, improve resilience, and also unlock opportunities. It's been an awesome morning with you today on this lovely Friday. Go the Springboks tomorrow. We know that you can do it. It's 9 o'clock.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. Controversial Mpumalanga taxi boss Joe Ferrari Sbanyoni is expected to appear at the Madlanga Commission today. Sbanyoni is a well-known person in the province where he owns a large fleet of